And we are live. What's up, guys? Welcome to Fresh Fit Podcast, man. It's Money Monday. We're here at Cuebanks and Raul. Let's get into it.
Let's go.
And we are back. What's up, guys? Welcome to Fresh Fit Podcast, man. It's Money Monday. It's going to be our last episode for Money Monday in this studio, guys. So it's been a good 3 years, but we're definitely going to be moving and fuck this building. But anyway, with that said,
it's been a good time. And just so you guys know, at the very beginning of this podcast, Cuebanks came. We didn't even know who we were. Out of love and respect, so shout out to you for coming back, bro.
People always ask me, why didn't you go on Fresh Fit? I'm like, bro, I've been on there like 2 other times already.
Yeah,
you know
at the very beginning.
But it was super early though.
Yeah,
very early.
Very
he
early.
didn't know who we were at all. Actually, we were just beginning. So
yeah, we were just starting.
Everything was fresh. It was cool.
That's love, man. It's love.
And it's fitting that we would bring him back right before we leave the studio.
That's crazy. Appreciate it.
But no, man, thanks for being here. So yeah, guys, rumble.com/freshfit. You guys know where to find us. Because YouTube is lame and they might go ahead and cancel us. So if anything, you know where to find us. Rumble.com/freshfit and castleclub.tv, also known as freshfit.locals.com. All the behind the scenes content is there, like us kicking out girls, exclusive interviews. We're gonna start doing Zoom calls once we move to the new studio over there for y'all. So you guys are gonna get a lot of value over on castleclub.tv. But yeah, man, without further ado, we got 2 special guests in the house, man.
We got 2 legends, Lambo Raul and Cuebanks. So we know who you are, but they might not know who you are. Please tell us.
Go first. Go ahead.
I mean,
you know what's crazy? I always tell the time Lambo Raul is like Spanish version of you, like Spanish version. I don't know why. Same car, same lifestyle, but go ahead, bro.
Yeah, I mean, so my name is Raul, known as Lambo Raul online. It's weird because a lot of people will come up to me and they meet me for the first time in person. They don't even call me by Raul. It's like, yo, Lambo, what's good? I'm like, what? And yeah, I mean, I've been day trading for the last 6 years. I make 7 years now in October. And I own multiple online businesses as well.
So I want to know from you guys as well, what got you into trading? And then what jobs were you doing before you started trading or during?
So for me personally, what got me into trading was honestly, like, I had gone through this whole period where I was sick. My initial plan wasn't to get into trading. And to kind of make a long story short, right, with the disease that I was diagnosed with is chronic and you're not allowed into the military. That was kind of like my go-to career path. After high school, I wanted to get into the military. I wanted to be in the Marines.
I'm sorry, what was the
Crohn's disease?
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So I was diagnosed with Crohn's disease. I was battling Crohn's disease for like 2 years. Realistically, like 3 years, but I was diagnosed like a year in. And I couldn't join the military. And then I started looking up ways to make money online. And that's when I kind of stumbled upon the whole trading scene.
Okay. And were you working jobs before or not really?
No, at that point in time, I wasn't. I was starting to work with my dad. I was helping him sell products online because he's a dentist. He has a clinic and he also has like a line of dental products as well. So I was helping him kind of push that and pretty much just working for him. That was my 9 to 5. That's what you want to call it. Although I was at the office from whenever he clocked in to whenever he clocked out.
Dr. G, shout out to him by the way. And Q, tell him who you are. What you trade, stuff like that.
Cuebanks, Quillen Black. I've been trading for the past maybe 9 years or so. I think I started trading for the main fact that the things that I want in life, like I have to find like a source that could actually bring me to that. Which means that like every other job that I had, it could never ever like support the kind of dreams that I had as far as cars and traveling and doing this and doing that and time freedom and that kind of thing. So when I came across even just like stock trading and just like trading overall, like it was the only source of income that could not have no kind of cap.
Right.
You can make as much money as you want to every single fucking day. So like that pretty much like actually drawed me to actually want to actually take trading seriously, knowing that there's no kind of income cap.
And I remember you worked at Target.
Yeah, but even before Target, actually, I had a job at a warehouse. I was working there for like about 3 years, making like around $620 every 2 weeks and that kind of stuff on salary, which means that that was like, even if I worked over 100 hours, like I was still gonna get paid that $620 each and every single 2 weeks.
Damn.
But it was
That's
like
slavery.
Yeah, but
What the heck?
But look, it was my first job. I just got my work permit. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm like just getting into the world and everything, because remember, like after high school, I had no kind of paperwork. So when I just got my work permit, I had to get like my first job, which was, it is what it is.
And for the audience that's confused, he's Jamaican, guys. So like you
I'm
were
born in Jamaica.
Born in Jamaica. You immigrated here later on, right?
Correct. Like when I was like 9, 10.
Because they're probably thinking like work permit. What do you mean? But
So born in Jamaica, and then like after high school, like bro, like everybody's talking about college and everything. Like I can't talk about college because I couldn't go to college. I couldn't do anything. So I had to come across another source that pretty much can actually support me, knowing that I couldn't get a job, I couldn't do anything else. So that's when I came across things to make online money, and then I got like my first job. And to me, like that first job was just cool because I had to just put in a little bit of time, and like, boom, I get a check. It was my first check ever. I'm like, yo, like all I have to do is just go here a certain amount of hours, and I'm making this every 2 weeks. Cool. Yeah. But that's all that I knew at the time.
Right.
Until after 3 years, and I was like, you know, bro, like this ain't it.
This can't be life.
This ain't it. But then Target happened after that right there. So I got fired from that first job, and then I got the Target job, which everybody knows. And I was at Target for like about 10 months, and from that point, trading full time after that.
Okay.
Yeah.
And guys, I understand trading is a whole different world itself. What do you actually trade? What's that method like?
I'll say it again.
So what do you trade? What do you trade mainly?
So
currencies, crypto.
Well, for the first like 6 years, I started off with the first year I started off with mainly commodities like oil. Like I started trading oil. Like my first ever trade was on oil, and then I started trading currencies, AUD, USD, USD, JPY, and that kind of stuff for a couple of years. And then for the past maybe like 3 years, I've been trading only US 30, which is an index, which is a lot more volatile than the currencies. So I mean, it's a different level of money. You know what I'm saying? The same amount of effort, but just a different level of money. Like when it comes down to it.
As a beginner, where should they start? You think? What should they trade first? As a beginner,
for a brand new person, bro, like I feel like you should actually embrace the fact that it takes a lot to actually understand the charts. You know what I'm saying? Like you have to get good at your technicals. You have to get good at pretty much understand like what the fuck you're even looking at. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like just start off on a period that's pretty much slow. I would say AU or UJ, pairs of that sort that pretty much doesn't really have that much movement, but it gives you enough time to actually learn the skill of even analyzing a chart.
What is AU and UJ?
AUD USD, Australian dollar. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Australian dollar versus the USD.
So you would say like if you're gonna trade currencies, like look at that first, master that exchange between those two different currencies, and then work your way.
Well, first because it's a slow moving pair, so it's not like it's just that currency, but it's a pair that doesn't really move as active as others and everything. Like if a person started trading GBP JPY when they first started, they're gonna get wrecked, and then
There's
all
a lot
of a sudden
more volatility involved.
Gotcha.
they're gonna have a bad taste in their mouth about trading after experiencing
AUD
that
to USD is less volatile, a little bit more stable, safer to trade with that.
Correct.
The margins on profit won't be as high, but the margins of loss won't be as high, which as a beginner.
But you're learning.
Yeah.
And then eventually you kind of like just upgrade a little bit more over the years.
And you get into riskier and riskier.
Correct.
Would it be fair to say that regardless of what you're trading, the charts are almost all identical? They have candles. What is it? They call it candlesticks, if I'm not mistaken.
Correct.
So whether it's cryptocurrency, commodities, currencies, all candlesticks. If you could read one chart, you can read another chart easily.
Pretty much like the skill of trading and analyzing overall, like Raul would definitely agree, like we could analyze anything. It doesn't matter what it is. Corn, I can analyze that shit. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't matter. Like once there's candlesticks on the charts, like we have the knowledge actually to be able to break it down and anticipate what's going to happen next based on what's currently being shown on the chart at that point.
So that explains why you guys are skilled at trading so many different things, is because you understand the fundamentals of how to read the chart. If you can read the chart, then you can basically trade in that universe.
Basically understanding how to read price action.
Correct.
A lot of the price action is very similar. It really depends on what type of assets you're trading. And it also depends on the types of system you're trading as well. Like there's a lot of people who have like a very systematic approach as to how they're going to trade. And then maybe that specific system may work better with other assets compared to like different assets such as commodities or stocks or cryptos and currencies. But if you're a great trader at reading price action and your system is kind of very discretionary, then you could trade multiple different assets that ultimately sell price action.
The workflow is going to be a little bit different based on how fast that currency pair is or like that asset is, but the overall foundation of the entire analyzing aspect of it is going to be similar.
The same.
Yeah.
Okay.
But workflow as far as like, what time frames you trade on, or what you use to actually analyze the charts and everything else, it's going to be similar, but at the same time, like how you use it is going to be very, very different. Like, for example, there's like on odd USD, like I wouldn't focus on the 1 minute too much because it's too slow at that point. I could focus on the M30 or the H1 to actually take a trade on versus let's say like US 30. I could go on the 1 minute time frame because it's a pair that pretty much moves fast enough that I could analyze and still make money even on that 1 minute chart.
Okay.
Compared to other charts, it's too slow or it's not even volatile enough to even like.
And when you're saying a 1 minute chart, does that mean that you need to make a decision and place a trade within 1 minute?
No, which means every single minute it's forming a brand new candle. It's closing a candle.
Oh, wow.
So it's pretty much like closing it and forming the charts and everything off of that 1 minute chart.
Can you tell the audience what forming a candle signifies on the chart?
It's the movement of like price.
It's data.
Yeah,
it's
data.
basically the data solidifying. Because when the candlestick is fluctuating, that's just the candlestick printing data essentially. But once it's already done, it's what happened? All right.
Yeah.
What was that, Mo? We good? We just want to make sure the audio is good on his mic.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Just
then,
just stay close to it, bro.
Yeah, and then once the candlestick actually closes, that's when the data is there and it's solidified.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
Okay. And then Raul, what do you trade? I want to say right now, I guess. What do you trade? And for a beginner, what should they start with? You think?
So for me personally, I started off by trading currencies and commodities, and I traded currencies and commodities for 4 years, and then I actually went over to also trading indexes or indices, as we kind of know it. I mean, some people also trade futures as well, which I trade SPX 500, and I also trade NAS 100. But other people trade that asset class in futures, which essentially is NQ and ES, right? And that's what I've been trading for the last 2 years. But when it comes to like what I believe you should trade in, it just really depends on your trading system and what type of trader you are, because you have position traders, you have swing traders, you have day traders, and you have scalpers, then you have like high frequency traders.
Yeah.
Right. So depending on what type of trader and how trading will kind of revolve around your current and specific lifestyle and how much time you can actually dedicate to the charts itself,
right,
will kind of give you a better direction, because you need volatility to make money.
Correct.
If you plan on being a scalper and a really shorter term time frame trader, then you don't probably want to trade something like AUD USD, because you're not going to see opportunity the majority of the time, versus going and trading something like the NASDAQ or US 30 or the S&P 500, where you can go on the 1 minute time frame and there's volatility and opportunity every day.
He looks lost, but
no.
A scalper is a person that pretty much.
I was gonna just ask, what is this? What is a scalper?
Is the person that pretty much trades in and out. Like they focus on like a very, very quick time frame that moves very, very fast. It's like a quick little push.
Okay.
And that's it. Versus like a swing trader, they probably hold trades for days, weeks, months at times.
Okay.
You know? A position trader, like they probably hold trades for like 6 months or like a year plus and that kind of stuff.
Probably like what you're, it's basically like long-term investing, basically what you're into.
Yeah.
Okay.
So what I'm hearing is you need to learn the terminology before you even get into this.
Of course, education is the biggest thing.
Yeah.
With everything, I feel like if you're getting into like a brand new field, you can't understand or you can't be a part of that conversation unless you understand the language of that conversation.
Of course.
You know what I'm saying? Like with anything else. So the biggest thing is to even like get in trading, I feel like you have to understand the terminology first. So when you're having when you're having a conversation with somebody else that's already a part of that system, you're comprehending what they're talking about versus just listening. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like just understanding like, you know, what everything means, like what pips mean, like what price actually means, like all the other stuff. It pretty much it makes sense to you now because you actually understand like the terms of what's being spoken.
You mentioned pips. What does pips mean again?
Pips is just you know, the points that are pretty much on the charts, like the price, pretty much like the lowest number of that price point is pretty much pips, like just like the lowest decimal point.
Is there like a mock chart that we can pull up?
Is also
quick
how you can measure
that you guys have maybe
action
on one of your websites, like a mock chart that we can show the audience real fast, just so they can kind of see it visually. I mean, if you don't worry about it. It's kind of off the cuff here.
Listen, throw up a chart, bro. Whatever, let's do it.
Okay,
all right. I have no problem with it.
Okay.
You can just go on TradingView.
Yeah. What should we do? To TradingView.com.
You can go on TradingView.com.
Okay, Bills, can you pull that up on the side? I think it's one thing to talk about it. It's another thing to visually show the audience and kind of show them. Okay, this is what a candlestick is here. Blah blah blah.
Yeah. I was going to ask the next question. Just
go ahead, please.
Obviously speaking, you don't get into this randomly. You have to either have a mentor, someone that knows the way. Did you guys have mentors in your space, and like how do you become get a mentor? You would say in trading.
Yeah, I mean, there's tons of different mentors out there. Some people take the mentorship route. Some people won't take the mentorship route. I mean, nowadays there's so much information online. But I look at it in two different ways, right? It's like, okay, you can go and try and do everything on your own, or you can go and find somebody that's already done what you're looking to do and they're successful at it and they'll shorten your learning curve.
Yeah.
So you know, it's kind of as simple as that to me. It's just like the same exact way you go to school to be a doctor. Somebody's already gone through that process and they're teaching you how to do it. I'm a mentor. He's a mentor. And it's just kind of like being selective on the individual that you're trying to learn from. Like when I first started trading, like he was one of the guys that I learned from and grabbed principles from him to apply to my own trading.
Right.
You know, and I was only able to shorten my learning curve because of buying X and YZ course to, again, help me with my trading and shorten my learning curve.
Because there's so much info out there, bro, it's confusing. So to package it in one where people can see it, I think that's better because all these terminologies, all these terms, I'm like, God damn.
Yeah, so look, like you have YouTube University, right? Of course, right? It's free, of course. But like you're pretty much like on like a system that pretty much is like an encyclopedia. Like everything is disorganized as fuck. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Versus a person that you're actually learning from within like a mentorship, everything's organized. So you're pretty much learning everything from A to Z, which makes it a lot more easier to digest in some kind of way.
Yeah.
So I feel like, even, paying that extra money and everything for like a mentorship and that kind of stuff is cool because you're not going through all the headache of trying to even find like what works and what doesn't work and everything, but you're finding what works for that person and it could probably work for you as well.
Got it.
Question for you. I remember, especially when we did our first interview with you back in the day, back in 2020 to 2021, there was like a huge push for Forex trading. I remember everyone was trading Forex. There was courses on it. Everyone was on Instagram. Hey, I'll teach you how to trade Forex, etc. Is it still as popular as it used to be?
Well,
or is it not? Is it slowed down a bit?
As far as what, just like...
Because I remember, man, there was a period where every girl I met said that she was a Forex trader in like 2020 and 2021.
I'm a trader.
I'm an
entrepreneur.
And I'd ask them, what do you trade specifically? And they would all say Forex. And I was like, but I haven't seen as many people talk about Forex unless it's like guys like you guys that like make a bunch of money on it and actually understand the charts. But like random people would be like, oh yeah, I trade Forex. And I'm like,
well, like back then, it was more being pushed by
MLM companies.
MLM companies.
Oh, got it.
But remember, like,
okay.
The thing with MLMs is cool, but at the same time, like we're kind of like against it because at the same time, like they're very, very good at marketing, which means that they know how to pretty much like attract 5,000 people at one time. Like that's crazy as hell. So like, which means that they're attracting all the people to kind of like introduce them to trading overall.
Okay.
Eventually, they'll understand that like they're not learning much from those companies, and then fall off that company and then fall into us. That pretty much actually teach the craft and that kind of stuff. And mind you, we teach the craft because we're kind of like beyond the fact of making money. Like, we make money even if we have no courses and that kind of shit.
Yeah.
We actually are good at the charts and everything. So at the same time, like the fact that we're able to actually give our value back to people in some kind of way, which is we're kind of like doing our value back, knowing that we're making good money, but we are giving it back to say that we gave our value to the community in some kind of way, so we could actually step back and have the new generation of traders actually thrive.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
So
Because
you're teaching them how to fish versus actually giving them the fish.
Exactly.
Because I remember they would like tell you copy and paste this trade on
you
Forex.
can do that, and people do that, which is fine. But at the same time, you're still being dependent on that person, which is at times it gets annoying and everything.
Yeah.
I'm not knocking the people that give signals, but at the same time, it's just the fact that it's real. Versus teaching a person how to actually fish, they could actually make money for the rest of their life at that point, which means that you're giving that value to them by just paying a little less fee, like you do anything else in college. You pay a little fee, same shit.
Was the reason for that because it's, I guess, easy to copy Forex trading with signals? Is that why it was because it was like an explosion of popularity from 2020 to 2021. I remember everyone was doing it. People were copying signals. Everyone was like, oh yeah, I'm going to go ahead and get a MetaTrader account and trade Forex and everything else like that. And they'll kind of just copy trades, but no one actually knew what the hell they were doing.
Well, the thing about copy and trade is this right here, I feel like. It's just the fact that, you don't know what that trader is thinking. A lot of times, like, it could be just a scalp. It could be just a swing trade. It could be just a position trade. Like, you don't know what like the motive for that trade is.
Right.
Gotcha.
So a person that does signals is cool for a temporary amount of time, but you don't truly know what that trader is actually thinking or what their motive is for that certain trade. You know what I'm saying? Which is kind of like hurtful too, because one person could have made money and one person could have lost money.
Gotcha.
Based on what the motive for that trade was. It could have been a scalp, but they thought it was a swing trade. You know what I'm saying? So they were probably in profit for a certain amount of time, and then by the time that person actually got out of their trade, the other person held the trade, and now they lost.
Gotcha.
So it depends on what the motive for that trade is.
And you're constantly watching your phone for signals, and you're not.
Versus actually analyzing on your own time and that kind of shit. It's all on you at that point.
But I feel like one of the big reasons that Forex trading in specific blew up because it's just trading has been around for years, 20 years.
Decades.
Forex trading in specific, I feel like it blew up because the entry level was just a lot cheaper to get in versus stocks. Because when you go and you're going to open up an account to trade options like TD Ameritrade, you're going to fall under the PDT rule. If you don't have above $25,000 to actually trade, then you're going to be so limited on how you can actually trade. Versus Forex, I mean, there's so many brokerages. You deposit $100 and you have no limitations on how you're going to trade, which is a big reason why I feel like
you now have
Forex blew up.
Brokers. Well, back then, like there were brokers that was offering like 3,000 to 1 leverage. It was
ridiculous,
that is
bro.
Crazy.
Ridiculous.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Can you explain what that is specifically and how that works?
It gives you the ability to pretty much manage more money without having the actual capital.
Oh wow.
Pretty much.
So you essentially you put 1,000 and they'll give you 3?
No, but let's say if you have 1 to 1,000 leverage with $1,000 account, you technically you could do max 33 lots that would actually execute, but you'll be in full margin like once you actually execute. But you have the ability to do that with a 1 to 1,000 leverage. That means that like you could go super hard without having the full capital, pretty much.
But if you lose,
it gets complex.
Then you get into a negative.
Yes,
it can
you
happen.
start owing them a lot of money.
At times.
It can
yes.
happen, yeah.
Depending on how the broker is actually set up and everything.
So
that's scary.
You can go negative though. You can go negative on certain brokers.
I'm going to use my real estate mind real quick because this is a different world for me. So you're basically borrowing money from the broker to, I guess, I don't want to say wage
leverage?
because
it's being done simultaneously, so like you don't really see the transactions and that kind of stuff. But technically, yeah.
Yeah, so you're borrowing money from the broker to go and take a more, I guess,
bigger
position,
bigger position, which might yield bigger profits, but also might yield bigger loss. And if you lose that money, aka their money, you are on the hook to pay them back.
If it hits hard, so like you could actually close early and like not be in a negative. But like let's say if you're that person that's pretty much like going super hard on that account that is in full margin, that kind of stuff, right? And you're using max leverage, and a big news hit like CPI news or that kind of thing, and all of a sudden it gives you the ability to now go negative in your account based on just how aggressive that news event is.
Yeah, it's basically gambling. Like at that point, it's not
At
like
that
trading
level
or
is
living.
gambling.
It's literally gambling because like you're not even focused on the probabilities at that point because every single trade you take, there's a probability behind it.
Yeah.
Right. At that point in time, it's kind of like you're not even focused on like, oh hey, you know what? I probably have like a 40% chance of losing this trade, but I'm still going all in. It's like it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
It's basically
and
gambling.
don't get me wrong, like I've had those times that I just went full march effort because I was a beginner in the game.
Of course.
And every now and again, like, you know, I would have like my main account, but you know, like every now and again throw a couple hundred here and then I used to go crazy just to see like what happens.
Gotcha.
That was like in the beginning stages having fun. You know what I'm saying? Like people get too like caught up on trying to be super disciplined with every single thing. You can have a little bit of fun too and be a little bit risky at times too. You know?
Okay. Is the key, I guess, to put money in that if you lost it, you wouldn't flip your mind?
Correct.
That's
Like don't put in money that is pretty much going to pay your mortgage or like your rent or like your car payment, that kind of stuff, because that money is vital. You know what I'm saying? To like your lifestyle and that kind of stuff. But extra money that you don't mind losing, that could actually be gone and you don't care about it, that's kind of money that you should invest in.
And then also at that point in time, if you're investing money that you can't afford to actually lose, you won't even be able to trade with clarity to begin with.
Gotcha.
So you're already making a poor decision off the bat before you even took your very first position. And even if you're not in a trade, like the money that you have in your trading account is still at exposure to risk because it only takes one day, one bad trade to wipe out that entire account if you have a poor risk management system. So that's like when I tell people, if you're going to deposit money into a trading account, like you also have to consider that money until you withdraw it from the actual brokerage and you realize those gains and you put it into a checking account completely separate where you can't actually take positions. That money is still very well at risk.
Okay, because it's not your money until you withdraw the money. Pretty much.
So you guys mentioned emotion. That's a huge thing in trading, right?
Because probably the biggest thing.
Yeah.
Biggest.
So controlling your emotions is going to be paramount.
Yeah, man, because I feel like, you know, you're dealing with money.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Everybody, you know, emotions come out like when it's money involved in some kind of way. Like it could be small money, it could be big money. It doesn't matter what it is. You're still dealing with money that could actually make a change in your life in some kind of way.
Okay.
So yeah, you have to kind of like, you know, just hone in on your emotions and like not actually get too caught up in like being impulsive on the charts, you know? That's because you're seeing money fluctuate and that kind of shit.
Yeah, that's kind of nerve-wracking.
Yeah.
All right, let's do some chats real quick and then we'll hop into questions.
No, very interesting stuff. Different world for me, man.
Yeah.
So
it's complex.
No. It's cool. I mean, I think it's great for people to learn different things.
But see, to me, I need a mentor 100%.
Oh yeah, for something like this,
bro,
you can't do this by yourself, bro. Hell no.
No, sir.
Hell no. John Doe donated $10. Goes, which pair would you guys recommend for beginners?
Well, I had mentioned
AUD
earlier.
USD.
Yeah. odd USD or USD JPY, you know what I'm saying? Like based on like the amount of information that's out there nowadays, I feel like you could actually gain a good amount of information to not have to go on the slowest pair, but you could probably go on like a moderate pair that could actually have some kind of fluctuation that's good enough to actually make some decent money.
And learn
also.
at the same time.
I don't know. I would say it really depends on what you're trying to trade. If you're trying to trade cryptos, if you're trying to trade stocks, if you're trying to trade Forex, commodities, I would probably focus on something that moves a little bit slower, that has a little bit less volatility, because it'll be a lot easier when it comes down to decision-making time.
Yeah.
Can you guys give us one pair for each discipline? So you started with AUD USD, JPY USD.
Yeah, because I started on
Forex.
On currencies, actually focus on currencies for a good amount of time. You know what I'm saying? I don't try to recommend much on indexes for a beginner because it's such an advanced
they're really volatile.
Okay.
It could slap you up, you know what I'm saying, make a person cry type shit.
So
you know
don't even touch it. What about crypto?
Crypto's also like cryptos is very, very like spiky and that kind of stuff. I feel like it's not really
There's a lot of consolidation too.
It's more emotional based. It's not like actual fundamental news based and that kind of stuff, like how currencies are and that kind of thing. So with currency, I feel like it's a bit more stable.
Okay.
So the fact that you'll see movement each and every single day with a currency pair.
Gotcha. So for beginners, learn, you put the training wheels on with the currencies.
Yeah. Get the foundation right and that kind of stuff, and then eventually start to upgrade your different assets and that kind of stuff over time.
Commodities as well as advanced, you would say?
Commodities is pretty slow. Like I said, like I did oil like when I first started also. Oil and then gold eventually, but oil was very, very slow. Like back then, like I haven't seen or even seen anybody trade oil in years. But back then, like that's what I used to trade for a couple weeks and that kind of stuff. But I would only recommend currencies to start off though.
Gotcha. Okay. What else do we got here, guys? Yeah, get your questions. You got two experts here.
Yeah, literally
that are the best in the game. W. Ron goes, can these guys show P&L broker statements for the last 12 months from a broker they don't own? If you've been in FX for years, you know these guys are marketers and course sellers, not traders. L Fresh don't destroy Myron's rap.
Nah. Yo, so
definitely not.
That's a funny thing is because despite how much money that we've withdrew and traded for and that kind of stuff over the course of years and years and years and years, people still hate on the fact that we still give good education also, and we have tons of students that's also making money inside the markets as well. So people like ignore the whole fact of we also trade ourselves, we also withdraw ourselves, we show tons of profits, but they always go back to the course stuff. Like it's wrong to have a course. It's wrong to give your information away.
The moment you add a course to what you're
the
doing,
moment you got a course,
everyone's already. Because I've met people that done your course and they've made thousands of dollars.
Not even that. Last year alone, I had my official course, the one I gave to you, I've only had for a year and a half open. And I've had two students completely quit their 9-to-5 jobs and become full-time day traders. One student, he was making like $80,000 a year. He made that in 2 months. And I'm not saying that it's something that you just go take the course, you're done, and then you're automatically making money. They put in the work, right? But I provided them with the foundation and the platform to be able to execute on their trading system. Not even just that. And I mean, when it comes to like the whole withdrawing your profits and everything, I've been as transparent on my YouTube channel as much as I possibly can, like literally showing you, hey, this is my trading account. I'm going to show you the withdrawal and internal transfer from my trading account to my wallet, from the wallet inside of the broker to then it going to.
I've seen it.
But
it doesn't matter.
It doesn't show everything. I've showed everything.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. There's always going to be people that pretty much once a person is selling a course, they're a scammer.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter.
For sure.
You could make all the money in the world and everything. And mind you, if a person was just depending on course sales, the lifestyle could not be maintained.
No,
at all.
That's
like one car.
Not even that.
Hold on. I met you guys multiple times. I've seen your lifestyle. You can't fake that, and courses can't pay for that. I'm telling you, that's too exorbitant to be from courses alone.
Yeah,
it wouldn't be sustainable.
You can't.
It wouldn't be
it's
sustainable.
what we signed up for. You know what I'm saying? Like people hate. It is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Like
it's part of it, to be honest.
Exactly. Like once you're in a position, the person that pretty much says all that is normally the person that pretty much either can't afford it, or the person that just
failed.
Just failed. Like
it's not that. It's like there's so many things that I've also personally done as well. Like there's just one company, right? FTMO. Like one thing that's huge in the trading space, which is absolutely amazing, is funding, prop firm funding, right? And FTMO had been out for years, even like probably around the time I started trading that I had no idea about. So they were even open before I even knew about what trading actually was. I went on there, and with their super tight limitations and restrictions on the risk parameters that they have, I was still able to make $100,000 in a month. That's just off of one payout. And people are still skeptical about that. So it's at the end of the day, like a lot of people are especially when it comes from hate, a lot of people just are in a situation where it's like they're not making those same accomplishments or anywhere near.
So they can't relate.
So they're trying to kind of like deflect their failures onto other people and saying, "Oh no, it's not possible. He's not really."
Yeah, but it's like
I believe it.
It's like anything else, right? In college, you take a business course, right? You're trying to actually learn a business in some kind of way. And that teacher that's teaching you that a lot of times don't have a business.
Yeah.
So that makes them invalid, right?
Yeah.
Same shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's the same exact thing, bro. At the same time, like, we are good at what we do, so we're actually giving back our knowledge in some kind of way so another person can actually find value in it.
It's interesting because if you just did it yourself and didn't teach anyone, they would say you're selfish. But then if you do a course, then they say you're a scammer. So you really can't win.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. You're always going to get like the back end of the stick every single time.
Because y'all got a bunch of free content on y'all channels. It's tagged below, guys. You can watch their stuff.
It's there.
I've seen their stories.
No worries.
When they do withdrawals, I'm like, holy shit, that's crazy money. But you show it. You show it.
I even showed
step by step.
I've even gone as far as showing step by step and even showing the withdrawal hitting my bank account and showing a bank statement. And people are like, nah. It's fake.
Yeah,
it doesn't
fake.
matter.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
But not even that, bro. We don't even have like only paid education. We have a ton of free education
on YouTube
as well. On YouTube as well. And I even show live trades like, hey, this is when I'm entering a position. Like, there's so much transparency that I have done that he has done as well. And I mean, people are gonna be people.
It is what it is.
You know,
it is what it is, bro.
That's what we signed up for.
They don't have the lifestyle, so that's what it is, bro.
Fair enough.
All right, who's next?
We got here. Who's up next? And guys, get your questions in now, man. Again, fnfsuperchat.com to super chat your question, or Rumble ran it in. Shout out Raul, Alex G. Shout out to you, Anonymous, $20. And then it goes here. Fly Low says, Myron's face on last After Hours was priceless when Mo revealed the Instagram. Shout out to y'all. I was 5'10", 250 pounds, 32% body fat a year ago. After my motorcycle accident, I hit the gym now. I'm 250 pounds with 20% body fat. 20 pounds until 15% body fat. Keep it up. F the haters. Yo, shout out to you, bro. Hey man, no excuses. That's what I like to see.
You got it, bro.
Tyler Durden goes, not to get all dark and ish, but there was a 20-year-old kid that was trying to learn option trading on Robinhood and got his account, and his account ended up with negative 100K. He ended up self-deleting, but he didn't realize he didn't really owe that money.
I seen that actually.
I saw that too.
That was a glitch on their system. Wow. Yeah.
That's unfortunate.
But then he took his life and everything and that kind of shit. And then, yeah.
Dude, does Robinhood suck? Because I've only heard bad things about Robinhood.
No.
Don't buy your crypto on it. It's a terrible platform.
We've heard bad things about it.
It's not even
honestly.
that. It's just a platform that was kind of like out before it actually got real big as far as like in the niche and everything. The niche is now starting to blow up in all kind of ways, but Robinhood was kind of like the more simple platform. Like, hey, like
Beginner
deposit
friendly.
here and then like they'll invest for you and that kind of shit. It wasn't like you're investing like trading like how we're investing.
Would it be fair to say that it basically was built, but the infrastructure couldn't keep up with the demand?
I think it was more for just the people that didn't want to do anything or even learn anything. Just put your money here and then they'll just work for you and that kind of shit.
Okay.
So at the same time, like that's probably what he did, and then all of a sudden, you know, that happened. But he wasn't actually trading like how we're trading the charts. Like,
did he put it on like some robot or something, or did he?
No, it's just like a platform that pretty much it shows data, but it shows the names of everything, but it shows no kind of charts on there. Like there's no like charts or like technical analysis and everything on like a Robinhood
I think
platform.
Robinhood is different now. I think because I've seen people actually execute. You could trade options on Robinhood. Yeah,
that's fucking crazy.
Yeah, it's more like a beginner friendly platform in my opinion compared to us opening up an account with.
You don't have to go along with like the complexities of like the terminology and that kind of stuff because they pretty much make it super easy for you.
Gotcha. Okay.
But it's not the platform for like a big trader type shit. You know, like it's
gotcha
for beginners basically.
Yeah, we want to actually execute our own trades, like analyze our own trades and that kind of stuff, and like you know that's what we do on other platforms versus Robinhood. I feel like it's just, you know, invest here, like choose like how you plan on investing, aggressive, moderate, like that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
so it's not like
basically trading with training wheels on, but you know you're not able to invest the way you really want to with the same level of veracity or
you have no control really.
Because they're dumbing it down and putting training wheels on you. So if you want to go fast, you can.
Super training wheels.
Yeah. Okay. And we do got the chart by the way here. We'll pull it up for y'all in a second. Sorry, you were saying something?
Oh no, go ahead.
Oh,
go ahead.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
We got here Better Life, $50 goes, hey FNF, I just left a delusional woman today. I showed her the episode with Myron kicking out the 304s for disrespecting his girl and watched her agree with the girls. I felt so disgusted with her. Thanks for teaching me how to vet these hoes. Shout out to you, bro. What are y'all thoughts on My Forex fund? From John Doe.
It's just unfortunate, you know.
Yeah, I think it's an unfortunate situation because
what happened?
They were basically like an online prop firm, right? And people could go on, you take a challenge, you pay like, call it $1,500 and you get access. You can get access to like a $300,000 challenge account essentially after passing a verification phase, and you can make money under your funded account and then keep a certain percentage of the profits.
Correct.
That company got so large, they ended up getting shut down, and a lot of people were pending payouts and had funded accounts with them. And
they had a lot of like just pending money and that kind of stuff also. But like on
Who
the
shut
back
down?
end,
The government?
yeah, but
SCFTC.
on the back end, they were actually like manipulating shit. Like they were so big that people would not look at them and question anything at all.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Which was kind of bad also. You know
Like
what I'm saying?
FTX, huh?
Literally, it was so
FTX.
big that no one questioned anything. So like, they pretty much trusted that platform to the point that that was like one of the biggest prop firms. And then eventually, like when it come down to it, they were fucking everybody.
Wow.
Yeah,
And
were
then they had like a
increasing
$300 million like I think lawsuit, right?
Yeah, that no,
300 million
they
or 400
seized.
million.
They made $300 million, but then had all of their assets seized.
Yeah,
Everything is frozen.
They made $300 million, but the dude that pretty much owned it was going crazy. He was like buying a Bugatti here, a couple houses here. He was doing like all kind of shit. So
Oh shit! So
it got caught up. Like,
so there's
very, very quickly.
customers that still didn't get their payouts.
No, the company shut down.
Yeah.
Like every single thing
CFTC
that
and they
is
couldn't
all
pay,
of
get
their
pay out their
assets.
people.
if you just bought a program from them the day before that, that money's gone.
Yeah.
Wow.
Put it as like
Oh fuck!
Yeah,
single
all of
person
their
that-
assets are frozen. They
every
can't-
single
they
person that
can't do
had
anything.
any kind of money within that platform is done.
SEC just
Cut.
shut them down.
Cut.
Wow. Okay.
So
That's
it kind of
crazy,
fucked over
bro.
a lot of people at the
Yeah.
same time. You know
Yeah,
what I'm saying?
there's a
But,
lot of
hey,
people that were pending, probably huge payouts, 20, 30, 40,000 that could have changed their lives, and all the assets are frozen. Like, they can't do
Wow. So
anything.
he can't even pay out the people.
No, nothing. The company's gone.
Wow.
So, but it doesn't go to say that like prop firms are bad, but it's just that the fact that that company they had bad intentions. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But prop firms are still good. It's still a great opportunity for people that don't have capital and that kind of stuff. But at the same time, like that company is that company. It doesn't go for the entire industry.
How do you know who to trust? How do you like? What's a good sign?
I feel like, so I'm very, very big on having a face. You know what I'm saying? Like he's the face of his brand.
His brand.
I'm all on the faces of all of my brands, top tier, Wall Street Academy. Any brand that I'm pretty much promoting in some kind of way, I try to be the face of it because I want to know that like my rep is on the line in some kind of way. You know what I'm saying? But when you look at it, like My Forex spends, like there was no kind of face towards it. You know what I'm saying? It was a person that pretty much was like in a corporate office and that kind of stuff. Like there was nothing. So you can't really trust that kind of company, I feel like, because a person can't come out and say like, yo, I did wrong, blah, blah, blah. Like this is going on, that,
There's no face to the case, basically.
there's no face at all, which kind of like mess everything up, I feel like, because a lot of the things that's going on nowadays in our niche, like we have faces to a business.
Gotcha.
Because that makes the person trustworthy in some kind of way based off like their previous business.
They can see you.
Yeah, correct.
Everything.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. What else do we got here? I'll finish reading these. Tony goes, what? AQs?
What are Q's
what
and
are-
Raul's
okay.
thoughts on the candlestick trading Bible? And also, shout out to Q on this funding program, top tier,
Hey.
just past tier 1.
Congrats. So, the Candlestick Trading Bible, personally, I've never ever read it.
Yeah, me neither.
The only book that I probably even read a couple of chapters of is what was it? Naked Forex, and that's about it really. I never really read much trading books. It was more just all experience and shit on the actual charts.
Yeah, I mean,
You know what I'm saying?
one book that I liked the most was probably like Trading Like a Casino, because it really helped me adopt finding an edge inside of my trading system and really adopting that probabilities mindset and knowing that I'm not going to win every single trade. Like that's probably like one book I would recommend. Another book would just be a lot of books on trading psychology, to be honest, because to me, reading and understanding price action is a skill that can be developed over time, and so is technical analysis.
Okay.
But you really have to understand the mindset behind trading, because if you don't understand the mindset behind trading, you don't have a risk management system, then essentially you're going to be going in blind.
Yeah.
You could just be borderline gambling.
Discipline
there
is
as well.
out the window at that point.
Yeah,
I'm
there's-
still waiting for your books,
Yeah,
guys.
there's a big
Wait
difference.
for
I got you.
your books, man.
Eventually in time, honestly, like when the time is right.
Okay.
Would it be because I noticed that there's been a lot of like comparisons to gambling versus trading during the course of this discussion. Would it be fair to say that the thing that differentiates someone from being a trader versus a gambler is having stop losses in place, education,
yeah.
knowing what
Risk
the hell you're
management.
trading in, understanding
100%.
the commodity, whatever it may
Fundamentals.
be?
So like on like the
100%.
most smallest way of looking at it, it's like it's educated gambling. You know what I'm saying? Like it's knowledgeable gambling in some kind of way, because you're playing with money in some kind of way also, and money is fluctuating just like how it does on the gambling table. But you have knowledge behind it, so technically like your decisions are more calculated more than anything else. So it's not as if like your chances to actually win a trade is 50-50 all the time. Nah. It could easily be 90-10 depending on how good you enter and that kind of stuff and your analysis.
There's a phrase in gambling saying the house always wins. Would you say that trading does not abide by that rule?
I really don't think so, honestly. No. Like,
Nice.
at the most, like, I mean, you know, the broker has like their fees and everything that you got to pretty much pay in swaps and that kind of stuff, of course, because that's the platform. But, you know, there's times that like I've had a great trading week, a great trading month, and that kind of stuff, and like the house didn't take anything technically. Like, it's based on the person.
Could you say also that maybe there's a layer of luck involved?
I wouldn't say that. It's all skill, bro. This is a skill game. It's all skill game. Like, a person can definitely learn about trading yesterday and then all of a sudden start, like, they probably win like a trade today, but how much or how long can they win trades?
Got it.
You know what I'm saying? Like, they could probably win like 1 or 2 trades and all of a sudden, yo, bro, I got it. No. And then all of a sudden they go on a losing streak. That money that they just won is going to be gone in the next like 24 hours, guaranteed.
Like, the thing about trading is it's very different, and everyone is going to find success very differently in trading. Like, there's people that could probably lose money for like the first 5 years in a row, but then on their 6th year they hit profitability and they make all of the losses from the previous 5 years back. Like, for one example, my grandpa, I was teaching him to learn how to actually trade. He started 3 years ago and he lost for the first 2 years. And this year alone, he's made all of that money back plus an extra net $30,000 in profit that he's realizing this year. And he's an older guy. He's in his 70s, but he was able to capitalize off of that. Wow. You know, so everyone, when it comes to like a trading journey, it's going to be very different.
Yeah. Just, I guess, as a learning lesson for the audience here, what were some of the mistakes that your uncle made in those 2 years that had him losing?
My grandpa really...
Grandpa, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I mean, it really just came down to just being a newer trader, understanding what trading actually is, really adopting that probabilities mindset, finding his trading system, his risk management system as well. It's going through the trial and error process. But the most important thing that I told him from the beginning is you need to have a tight risk management system and how you want to define your risk. Yeah. Because if not, then a lot of the times it could be, you know, you're just kind of gambling, and understand why you're taking these trades. Is the probability in your favor? Does your trading system have an edge? And then you move forward from there. Because if you can't tell me what your edge in the market is, if you can't tell me what your trading system is, if you can't tell me this is why I'm getting out here if I'm right, this is why I'm getting out here if I'm wrong, then a lot of the times it's like you're going in blind and you don't know what you're doing, and there's a higher chance of you to lose money. I don't want to say there's like a higher chance of you making money, but at the same time, it all has to be very planned and systematic.
Significantly if you have those things.
Of course, which is then going back to what you said previously. It's like, you know what? It's, you know, there's a spectrum between gambling and trading. There's a huge spectrum and a huge differentiation between gambling and trading. If you tell me you're somebody that you open up a price action chart and you deposit it into a brokerage and you see price going up and you decide to take a buy because price is going up, I'm going to tell you, yo, you're gambling. You have 100%. No reason as to why you're looking to take a position here and you're looking to take that buy position, other than that you saw price action is going up. Versus if you tell me, hey, Raul, like, I decided to take this position because XYZ reason. I decided to place my stop loss here with this much risk, and then I decided to take my take profit over here with a 2R plus multiple. Then I'm gonna tell you, okay, you know, that looks solid.
It's calculated.
You know,
it's calculated. And remember, like, the biggest thing with trading, I feel like, is staying in the game. You know what I'm saying?
100%.
Like, if you don't have any kind of risk management, I feel like, you know, you're not going to be in the game long. You know, so like, you got to be open with taking those losses and everything. If the trade goes bad, whatever. But the biggest thing is like trying to stay in the game as long as possible and not taking like a risk that could actually take you out the game. You know, blow your account and that kind of thing.
You know what I can tell people? See from you guys, they see the success. Well, bring it in their Instagrams real quick. They see the cars, the lights, the success. They say, you know what? If I trade too, I can be like them in a short period of time.
So look, the biggest misconception with all that is that like you guys see the cars, but remember, like, I mean, I've always said, like, I've been into cars since I was 4 years old. Like,
yeah, me too.
Like, what the fuck do you expect me to do when I have money to buy the cars? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I played video games, and my garage on these car video games is not just one car. You know what I'm saying? Like, I have tons of cars.
Same. In GTA, I had a whole lineup.
So why would I not want to do that in real life if I have the ability to do so? Like, it does make sense.
That's another reason why I got into trading too, is to fund my hobby, which is cars. Because like, I feel like there's a big difference between having a passion for something and then obviously just wanting to flex. For me, I've always loved cars. I used to race go-karts when I was a kid. And I've always wanted the cars that, you know, I liked. And to me, you know, my cars is my passion, which is why I have so many cars. I don't just have one super nice car and then one regular car, so I could flex a super nice car. So I'm genuinely passionate about cars. And now that I'm in a very blessed position where I'm doing very well for myself and I can afford these accomplishments, goals, however you want to call them, I'm going to do it.
And look, so like the biggest thing is like people judge how we spend money. You know what I'm saying? Like if You know what I'm saying? Like Fresh spends money way differently than Myron spends money.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So,
Two different worlds.
but it's the same concept though. You know what I'm saying? Like so people that pretty much like, you know, like hate on like how we actually spend our money is because they would have probably spent the money differently, or they want to invest in real estate. They want to flex. Like it just depends on the person. You know what I'm saying? And I think I'm like barely even like, you know, fully leveraging like what I'm able to do, you know what I'm saying? Like to the full ability. But at the same time, like I get to a point in my life that I fund what I'm passionate about. And it is, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm actually funding like my lifestyle based on like what I'm actually interested in. Versus if a person that pretty much gets to a certain point and they have the money to do everything that they always spoke about, but they get to a point that they don't even do it because what other people would think of how they spend the money.
Yeah, right. I feel
like fuck everybody else.
Analysis,
spend the money however you want to spend your money. You made the money, so like spend it however you want to spend it.
Yeah, because like I mean, what's the point of making so much money if you can't even enjoy it? That's what I'm saying. You're gonna die anyway. Life is about experiences.
I always say, you know what I'm saying? Everybody got the same stop loss. And listen, like I'm gonna live this shit up for the meantime. You know what I'm saying? So that's what it is.
So speaking of cars, I gotta ask a question. How many cars have you had from the very beginning till now? And then your top 2 cars you would like to drive are the best cars you would say? How many cars you've had and like what have you had like?
So I mean the cars that I've got rid of was in total cars from the start.
Yeah, from the start.
Probably like about a good 17 cars I would say.
Damn.
Yeah, probably 17. But now I only have like 9 cars and 4 supercars.
What are they?
Well, what, all the 9 cars?
Yeah, if you remember, because you might forget.
Yeah, I did this yesterday actually. My 1998 Toyota Supra MK4, my 99 Nissan Skyline R34, my Ferrari 812 in Largo, my Ferrari Pista, my Lamborghini SV, my Lamborghini SVJ 6.3, my Escalade, my G-Wagon, my M3, and my truck that I have. Yeah.
Jeez.
9.
Yeah,
so 9. I'm good.
Yeah.
Okay, and top 2 favorite cars.
Top 2, Pista and SVJ, bro. You're talking about a car that pretty much does everything, which is the Pista. Like, it's the most fun car, I personally think. And then you have the SVJ, which is pretty much just like a very obnoxious car. You know what I'm saying? It's very just out there. Yeah, it's crazy.
100%.
Very loud.
Yes, he knows.
And he has the same car, so I'm pretty sure he would definitely be on the same tracks.
Fuck, I mean, over the course of time, I've definitely had a lot of cars. I mean, just in like McLaren's alone, I've owned 3 600 LTs. So I was doing
Wait, what?
Yeah. 3 600 LTs.
You can't make up his mind.
Yeah, no.
This man's confused.
Yeah. So like the thing about a lot of cars too, I've seen them as opportunities. So some cars I would get in and then I would sell really quick to either break even or I make money on top.
Which is smart.
I mean, in total, bro, I've probably had over like 30 cars out were mine.
Damn.
That were mine. And then
top 2?
I mean, what
top
I have,
2,
my top 2. I mean, what I have right now too is I have an SVJ, I have a Pista, Urus Performante, Rolls Royce Cullinan, and then I bought my wife a G-Wagon. My top 2 is also Pista and SVJ, which is why I bought it. This is my second time also owning a Pista, too.
Yeah.
I had one before.
Telling you,
can't
bro,
make up his mind.
He
Like
gets
I
the
said,
version
man.
of you that's Spanish. That's it. You guys do the same, bro. What the fuck?
I think that we're pretty much doing it for pretty much every single category. I'm doing it for the people that's black.
Right.
I'm saying people that's Hispanic. It is what it is. But at the same time, like I feel like we're pushing our people in some kind of way as well. You know what I'm saying? And show them that there's ways out. You know what I'm saying?
See, I'm not a trader, but you guys inspired me to want to live my lifestyle. And it's kind of like, yes, you should obviously invest your money, but it's like, yo, when you're a kid, you have dreams you want to fulfill, and 100%. It's like, why not do it? Why are you still living?
People are scared, bro. That's the thing. I feel like it's the fact that we're actually living out the things that we've always dreamed about ever since we were a kid, and we're doing well. You know what I'm saying? And not like fully leveraging what we could do.
Yeah.
And we're still managing with everything. And mind you, like the cars that y'all see now and that kind of stuff, it's not like it's gonna be a rental and that kind of stuff. Like I see the comments and everything. People always hate me. But mind you,
people just hate, bro.
Despite me showing,
you even rent those cars?
Oh, no, look.
No.
Despite
You
me,
can't rent those cars.
Can't rent those cars.
Despite me even showing a folder full of titles, it doesn't. Like I said, it doesn't matter, bro.
Yeah.
People always have things.
Bro,
to
I've
say.
even posted on my story so many
It's a problem
times.
that people complain about. They're still gonna complain.
Bro,
no matter what you do.
Fresh, you understand, bro.
Yeah, keep watching.
There was one day I remember I went on my Instagram story and I
Yeah.
grabbed each one of my registrations off my cars and I grabbed my Amex and it shows my company name and on the registration of the cars it shows the exact same company name that's under my name, and it's like, nah, still renting. It's like, okay, cool, yeah, I'm renting.
Bro.
I'm renting an SVJ that I've had over a year. I'm paying $30,000 a month for an SVJ. It's ridiculous, bro.
If you were supposed to rent these cars, technically you're paying more money, so it's
That's
a
what
bigger
I'm saying.
flex.
Yeah, it's very true.
It's ridiculous.
Isn't that Asian
It's
guy?
ridiculous.
I saw somebody.
Yeah. I just saw
Yeah.
it following the other day.
people
like,
are
yo,
so...
cool dude.
You can't rent these cars, and secondly, it's like if you do rent them, it'd be way more.
A lot
10
of
times more.
a lot of the
At least
times
5
you can
times.
rent like the entry level supercars.
Yeah.
You know, but when you're talking
Huracans
about
and that kind of
SVJ, when you're talking about
Pista.
Pista, Mike
Yeah.
Cullinan has my name engraved on the car.
How do you write
literally,
that?
It does.
literally says
took, like,
Raul
2
Gonzalez
years
handcrafted
to,
in
get.
England, and it took me 2 years
2
to
years
get
to
that
get.
car.
Yeah.
It took me. I waited 2 years for it to be built and delivered. To
I
me.
just realized, bro, when you live a lifestyle that people want to have but they don't have it, they do
It's
hate
rough,
on you,
bro.
and they project their hate and all their inadequacies onto you. And it's
Yeah.
crazy because like
is what it is.
you can fix all
Insecurities.
the problems that they have with you. It will never be enough.
Yeah.
Never.
But that's why,
That's what.
like I said,
I just do me.
we do our part in the community at least to say, you know what, we're giving our value back in some kind of way. If you want to take it, you take it. Cool, but you can't say that I'm over here balling and not giving out any kind of tips.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like we're giving out a lot of tips each and every single day on YouTube and Instagram and that kind of stuff. So while we're living,
Telegram.
we don't feel guilty of living like how we want to live based on we know that we give our
back.
value. Exactly.
Bro,
exactly.
I get DMs all the time
Yeah.
of literally saying, yo, Ro, thank you so much, bro. You've literally changed my life. I just got funded and I ended up getting my first $20,000 payout. It's like from the education I provide, this individual made $20,000. That's just one of hundreds.
That's life changing.
That I've received. It is like just like my student, bro. I actually had one student recently. This was back in March, who he sent me a DM random one day. He's quiet, right? Never seen him in the chat. Never talked in my Discord before. It just smacks everybody with a $54,000 payout. This is a college student, bro. 22-year-old.
That's
$54,000 in a
immediately.
month.
It is.
That's life changing money.
In college? That's life.
And you're talking about this is an individual who, at the end of the day, put in the work. And again, like people can look at it 2 ways. It's like, oh no, that guy's payout was fake, you know, this, that, blah, blah, blah. But then that's just their own insecurities and them trying to project their own insecurities onto that
100%.
individual because he was able to do it. And he might be younger than you, he might be older than you, but he was able to do it. And maybe some individual still hasn't done it yet, you know?
And then the question is, what's your excuse? But they don't have any. So,
Yeah, I mean,
that's valid.
they always say that they don't have time, but listen, we all got the same 24 hours. So, hey, it's how you use it. It's your 24 hours. You know what I'm saying? Like, you choose how you use your 24 hours.
Big facts.
Yeah.
We got some more here, and then Rumble as well.
Yeah.
Okay, and then from this point forward, we'll go what 20
and
up? All right. All right. So I'll read these ones that came in before. Okay, words of wisdom goes. Big shout out to Raul and Q, setting the bar high in the industry.
Oh yeah,
Hey,
he
That's
he
my
was
boy.
at the,
Shout out to Words of
podcast.
Wisdom at the
event.
summit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just
Shout
did a
out to him.
podcast with him too.
We
He
did a
just
podcast with
posted
him
it.
too. Yeah.
Yeah?
I did one too. Yeah.
Dope.
Shout out to him.
Trade beginner goes. Which broker do you guys suggest? I tried Ethan's market for a few months, but I was thinking of trying someone different through TradingView.
That's perfectly fine as well. There's a
For
lot of
TradingView.
there's a lot of great brokers on TradingView, so it really just depends on what you're trying to trade.
Yeah.
To be honest with you,
Okay.
Okay.
And then we got JC Garcia, taxes for full-time day trader. How do you do a LLC? Oh, that's a good question.
Well, it's a bit more complex than that, but I feel like definitely have a business account. You know, because as you're withdrawing your profits, that could be considered as business income. But yeah, like
trading is a business. Like you
Yeah.
can invest into different trading software, such as trading journals. That there's a monthly subscription for. Your office setup is also all a write-off as well.
Yeah.
And depending on
Office
if you
of the
trade,
house.
you
And
know,
the cars too.
that's
not-
different.
not really.
like trading specific.
Okay. Okay.
Right, but like
Separate.
and yeah, like some trading taxes are all taxed different. Like if you trade forex or futures, you get taxed at a 60-40 split as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah, I'm at like a 37%.
You can use it for marketing or no?
What?
The car?
Depends. It depends on what car. Like for example, like my G-Wagon is in like my business name because I actually drive that car every single day. So technically that's a business expense. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Certain cars like my Lambo and everything, definitely not. I feel like you know, like it's gonna be like a no-brainer. But
It's like it's a sketchy situation.
it's very very sketchy. But I feel like it is possible to do certain things, but not every single car
Not everything,
qualifies.
yeah.
You know?
But you buy your cars in cash, right?
But majority of my cars.
Yeah.
That's why I have a lot of titles. You know what I'm saying? So personally, because I feel like, you know, if you're trying to buy a car that costs, you know, like $1 million and that kind of stuff, if you can't even put down at least 50% of the car or even
Shouldn't
pay it
have
off,
it.
then
What's the point?
Then
Yeah,
wait
you
it
shouldn't
out.
have it.
Because the worst thing that you can do for like a supercar is to have a big ass bill every single month. That's a headache.
Sucks, yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? $20K for a car. What? That's a lot of
That's
fucking money.
crazy.
Yeah, it is.
Versus $2,000 or $3,000. That's cool because that's light work. You know what I'm saying?
It's doable.
Yeah, it's doable. Definitely.
Okay.
All right. Let's see here. We got Tony goes, opinion on student loans. Do you guys think it's a smart move if I go into debt to get a degree that is really in demand and pays really well, 6 figures in the medical field? I live cheap and I'm really disciplined with money. Could pay it off fast.
Well, I feel like this right here. Like, I was going into the medical field at one point in time also.
You want to be a doctor, bro?
No, a nurse, actually.
Oh, shoot.
Yeah, and then I was going for physical therapy assistant and that kind of stuff also, like before I said F it, you know. So the thing with that is that I feel like there's too many opportunities out here nowadays to then, you know, spend 4 or 5 years or 6 years into like a field that only makes 6 figures.
Yeah.
That you're going to be pretty much working probably 70% of the time anyways.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? Versus actually trying to take advantage of, like, you know, a program or, like, you know, a trade in some kind of way to actually make those same 6 figures in a short amount of time.
I'd rather nowadays pay for a course and learn the skill than go to school and spend 4 years, bro.
The courses are still underrated. It's crazy to me. Like, you're learning something that took the person that pretty much is teaching it in a couple of months at times. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, I mean, yeah, like people just underrate courses based on who is selling the course. The fact that, like, people underrate, even me, because I don't look like a professor, but have a shit ton of fucking knowledge, and I made a shit ton of money, but also I made other students make a shit ton of money as well. You know what I'm saying? Like, people don't even look at that aspect of things. So, like, they judge the person on how their appearance is to see, like, if they can learn from that person based on how that person looks, which doesn't make any kind of sense, because they can have all the knowledge inside the world and everything.
That's true.
Yeah.
We got what else we got here? Okay. Kai's the guy. As knowing Raul directly, he is definitely one of the best traders in the game. I lost my job back in 2019 and he paid my bills for 6 months, helping me get back on my feet. Don't ever sleep on him. All love, bro. KY, keep going.
Oh, wow.
I haven't heard from you in a while.
Love. Yeah.
Shit.
Shout out to
you,
that.
bro. El Nawa goes, Raul and Q are my boys. Love to see two legends coexist. Yeah, absolutely.
Dude, when I saw you guys take a picture together, I was like, yo, I need you two on the podcast because that's legendary, bro.
I mean, like, I see him every now and again. Like, he just busy.
Okay, I see you guys, but I don't see you guys like together like that though. You feel me? Like you guys be doing your thing.
Yeah, because I remember, like, he got his thing going on. Like, I got a bunch of companies and everything I'm trying to run. So I feel like we're both busy, but when we get caught up, it's all love, of course. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's never ever beef, but people just see it that way on Instagram because they just want to make something that's not really anything.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
They try to start crap between you two?
Sometimes people are bored, you know?
Wow.
But I feel like in trading especially, you guys are like brands, and like people don't understand that you're your own brand. So it's kind of like, you know.
Yeah, the name, the name itself is the brand, but also, like, you know, whatever company that we come out with, like, our name is behind it as well. So, like, our name holds weight to whatever we even touch.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, any kind of brand, like his brands and that kind of stuff. If he opens up a brand new brand, like right now, like, it's gonna push based on who he is.
Who he is.
You know what I'm saying? So, like, it's very important to actually just keep, like, a good face.
That's true.
Yeah.
Fair enough. And then we got here, JBX goes, we are both your guys' main confirmations you guys look for before taking a trade. Okay, what are both your guys' main confirmations you guys look for before taking a trade? I've been trading for 2 years now. Big fan of you guys.
Well, for me, I'll say that, like, you know, I try to actually hit at least like 3-4 confirmations depending on what type of you know, setup I'm actually trying to look for.
What is a confirmation?
It's like certain things that you have to actually see before you even say I want to execute that trade at that point in price.
Yeah,
you know?
sure. It's all part of your trading plan, your trading system.
Yeah, so, like, I mean, I'm looking at my time frame correlation. I'm looking at how, like, my candlestick looks. I'm looking at how even like how much volume is in that overall area of the market, if it's in a consolidation zone or not. It's a few things, you know what I'm saying? But it depends on the kind of setup, because I feel like, you know, every single setup that I do take inside the market is case by case. It's never the same thing.
Yeah, it's never the same.
Okay, so difference.
It's like the similar workflow, but different setups. I use different tools at different times. So, I mean, it's always at least like 3 confirmations. So I feel comfortable with even taking that kind of trade, knowing that it's a high chance that I'm going to win that trade.
And that makes it not gambling because you're taking calculated risks off of what you confirm.
Yeah,
Okay?
of course. So it's not like I see one confirmation and then all of a sudden I'm good.
Trade.
No,
Right.
No,
I need
like
at
that.
least a couple, so it lines up and everything enough to say, you know, I'm confident on that certain trade.
Yeah. I mean,
That's what differentiates it from gambling.
Exactly.
yeah, for sure. I mean, everyone's going to go about their way and how they trade very differently. I mean, for me personally, it's like a combination of everything. It's not just like 1 or 2 confirmations that I need to see before I'm like, okay, I'm taking this position. It's like, okay, well, after doing my entire analysis, then it's like, okay, now I need to analyze the risk. What's the potential risk on this trade if I do lose money? And what's the potential reward? It's like, okay, you know, I'm not going to go into a position risking $20,000 to only make $10,000 or $5,000. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to go into a position risking $20,000 to try and make at least $40,000. That's like the overall objective and goal. But the thing about trading is that, like, price action trading is never going to be perfect. You know, you can go in with like a $20,000 risk maybe pull out 15 just because price action came all the way back and hit a trailing stop loss. So like when it comes to my confirmation,
R&Rs and that kind of stuff also.
Yeah. Like you have your planned risk-reward ratio, and then you have like your actual risk-reward ratio, which depending on your win rate will determine your profitability and the longevity or not. So like when it comes down to like my price action confirmations, it really has to do with a lot of things. It has to do with supply and demand, the actual price action candlesticks themselves. Is price acting rejecting an area of that supply and demand level? Is price action trending, consolidating? Like it's a ton of different concepts that I need to put together in that specific situation, because day after day the situation changes.
Yeah,
right.
I do wish that we could have had a computer up here and then get on some charts and shit. You know what I'm saying?
We got one right here.
Well, no, like as far as like
his like setup.
Well, no, like like a trading view chart, and all of a sudden, what I'm saying, do some shit. But that would have been cool. Yeah, but this is the kind of this is the platform that we mainly analyze on.
Okay.
For the main fact that it's great with data. It looks very, very clean, and it offers all the assets that we do trade normally.
Okay. So what am I looking at here?
Yeah, well,
right now you're looking at USD JPY on the daily time frame.
Okay.
At this point in time, the market is a bit more bullish on USD JPY. It still has a level of resistance that's coming up within the next. I can't really see like what it says.
Can't read the price.
I can't read the price, but it pretty much has a resistance pretty much not too far away from where it currently is like right now, but it's still mainly on an uptrend at this point in time. Yeah.
Shit.
Yeah. I mean, I could go on all day about this, but I need.
I see gold, silver.
It'd be better if the computer was right here.
Yeah. I need like right now, and then I could do some shit, but I can't do anything.
Okay.
All right.
But yeah, that's our. This is like our.
That's
probably
the charting
Holy Grail?
platform.
Most of the day.
It's a charting platform.
You're on this most of the day?
Yeah.
Take us through a day. Sorry.
I was going to ask, I mean, we're big critics of the mainstream media. We think, obviously there's a bunch of fake news on there. But it seems to me that the mainstream media plays a big role in this.
Yeah.
How often are you guys watching the news?
Well, see, like, I'm learning fundamentals. I'm more of a technical trader, which means that I don't really read fundamental analysis too much, which means economic news and that kind of stuff. I don't really touch on economic news too much, but I'm very, very good at my technicals. So technicals meaning using like I'm drawing on the chart to pretty much pinpoint certain areas of support or resistance and that kind of stuff.
Gotcha.
To then anticipate like my next move in the market. That's how I trade.
Okay.
But there's some people that
is that more expert level stuff that you don't need to watch the news and you just kind of know?
Not necessarily. I mean, there's different types of trading. You have people that trade solely based off of fundamental analysis. You have people that trade solely based off of technical analysis. You have people who combine the both.
Yeah.
That trade based off of fundamentals and technical analysis. Like the best thing.
Fundamentals, the news.
Fundamentals is basically all types of economic data and like world events.
Yeah, but the bad thing about the only fundamental news is that like they don't really understand a good entry opportunity and that kind of stuff, because they're looking at like the more broader perspective of the charts, daily time frame, the weekly. They're looking all the way out here. Versus me, I'm pretty much on the charts. Like I'm on the lower time frame, seeing a bit more data movements.
Gotcha.
So I have a better chance of having a trade that sees a bit less drawdown than that person that's pretty much zoomed all the way outside.
Gotcha.
Because they're more focused on what might take months to actually play out.
Yeah.
I'm more focused on what might play out in the next like 4 hours.
Gotcha.
A day or 2 days.
Because you're looking at it from a nuanced micro level, so you're able to really get into the details and see what the hell's going on and really analyze.
There's a saying that says, have your bias based on fundamentals, but have your technicals or your entries based on technicals, which means that you're a bit more in tune with like, what is considered as a good entry and that kind of stuff based on like the getting like a better risk reward versus the person that's pretty much doing like a fundamental standpoint. They probably don't even use a bigger lot size and that kind of stuff based on like how much fluctuation might happen before that news might play out eventually.
Gotcha.
With me, I could actually up my leverage or like up my lot size and that kind of stuff a bit more because I'm more on the charts. On the
you do the work on the front end, so you could take the risk on the back end because you know what you're doing. So because you know the intricate details, you've looked at the patterns. Okay, I'm very confident at this because I understand the nuances. I understand this pairing to a significant degree, so I can go ahead and make decisions based on my knowledge versus relying on mainstream media or whatever.
But keep in mind, like if I learn fundamentals like how I aspire to learn it eventually, then I'll be a lot better. But at the same time, like what is working for me has been working for me for years and years and years and years.
Right.
So like I'm not in a rush to learn something that's going to benefit me like right now because I'm doing pretty well at what I do. Exactly. So
it also depends too. It also depends on your trading system, because if you're like a longer term trader where you're holding trades for days on days and weeks on weeks, then you're going to have to be in tune with fundamental analysis versus someone like me where I'm looking to get in and out of the market within the same hour, 2 hours. You know what I mean? Like
no, scalping is within minutes.
Yeah,
5 minutes, 10
minutes
within
a day.
Yeah,
that's a bit different. I'm looking looking to get out pretty much within like the first 3 hours of that trading session.
Yeah. Some scalpers like take like 10 trades an hour at a time. It's crazy.
So let's
but
say
their risk is pretty big also. You know?
Let's say Elon Musk was like to say today, hey, you know what? Today I'm going to trade this option. Would that affect the market? Like, how would you?
It depends on what though. Like, as far as like an index and that kind of stuff, not really. I feel like, but if it's like a crypto, like they had Dogecoin and that kind of stuff. Like yes, like it'll affect that in some kind of way. But
unless he's talking about something like Tesla, where it's like major, then
on stocks,
you know.
But it's not going to really affect like majority of the markets.
Okay,
for the most part.
Yeah, I mean,
he's powerful, yes, but I don't think that he could actually affect majority of the markets.
Something that would be more relevant to like basically what you were saying would be like if Jerome Powell were to be coming out and he would be on a speech, depending on the type of tone he's giving. If he's giving like a hawkish or a dovish tone, will definitely determine on price. You'll literally see it on the charts. Charts
and
will absolutely go.
It gets affected immediately. Like
right away.
Yeah.
Like every time the Fed has a meeting and raises interest rates, it affects the market.
For sure.
Okay.
So us traders, like we look forward to those kind of news events because it gives us a chance to make big money very, very quickly.
Okay.
When that data comes out, like especially if there's a big difference between the expectation versus the actual data that actually comes out, like with CPI and inflation, like there'll be huge moves in the markets. I mean, some days like the markets will have a crazy move up and then a crazy move back down. Those are the days where there's a lot of volatility, and those typically, when I do trade those days, which is very rare, I just tend to stay away and I trade on the days that it's just normal price action. Is when I size down heavily, when I significantly take size off of the table and use a lot less risk, because the market just moves so much in that same day. It's like I can catch a lot bigger of a move and make roughly around the same with probably half of the size versus going in on a regular day. I probably go in with a little bit more size because there's not as much volatility as when you see when the Feds actually have a meeting or when CPI does come out.
Okay. Yeah, like the report. For example, like there are certain times that like let's say the market moves, let's say 1,000 pips in one day, and all of a sudden the next day it drops again. And then all of a sudden now it's all the way back up here. Like that's kind of movements that you could probably see like with interest rates and that kind of stuff. Like it'll go up, go back down to like where it started from, and then pretty much go all the way back up. And
are you trading on days where the Fed is increasing rates?
I feel like I'm trading
Or are you kind of like him where you trade on normal days?
So
mostly?
I know what days I have to watch out for, but majority of the time I'm trading like right now. Okay, you know what I'm saying? But certain days I know what to look out for. FOMC, NFP, CPI, like I know those big news events that I have to make sure that I'm in tune with because I don't want to get slapped up out of nowhere.
Yeah.
You know? That kind of thing.
All right.
But it gives us an opportunity to actually make money though, which is cool. Yeah.
And let's say you decide to trade on one of these days where they're hiking the interest rates or the Fed is having a meeting. I'm assuming you're looking at the charts all day and you're glued to your phone?
Yes.
That day?
Yes, definitely. So but it's a risk that we're open to taking though. But
of course, the
risk is managed though. You know what I'm saying? So it's good.
Now I was going to say that leads to my next question, because obviously trading takes time and focus and effort.
A lot of effort.
Take us through a day of what's like trading for you. Like I know you lock yourself in, you focus on that computer screen nonstop.
So
tell us how it was trading for you.
Well, I start trading around like 7 a.m. Through like around 12 p.m. So I'm like locked on the computer, analyzing the entire time. Probably analyzing for like about a good 3 hours.
Damn.
But then if I'm in a position around 8:30, like 9 o'clock, like whenever, like the stock market opens and that kind of stuff, like, I'm pretty much glued to the charts pretty much throughout that entire time period. So like if I'm in a position, I'm probably going to be looking at my phone the entire fucking day. Like if I'm leaving the desktop, I'm on my phone for the rest of the day. But I'm on the charts the entire time.
So you're trading on like, you start at like 7 a.m., finish at like 12 midday? You start at 7, right?
Yeah.
I finish at 12 midday?
Average, yes.
And then you're done.
Yeah. Every day? 7 days a week, or are you on 5 days a week?
So with me personally, like I trade a fucking lot. You know what I'm saying? I could probably trade like 3-4 times every single week.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? As far as like day wise, like
so you're having days like this 3 times a week at least.
Yeah.
Okay.
But those are days that like every single time that like we get on the charts, like we're prepping for that stress that comes with it. You know what I'm saying?
Of course.
To trade every single day, I feel like you're putting yourself under a lot of stress, which does make sense, and then you're pretty much going to be taking on things that you don't really want to take on at times. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But like at least like 3-4 times a week. That I'm open to, but I try to make sure that I'm disciplined enough to even like I wake up, I get on my charts for a couple hours at least, to try to actually make sure that I'm active and I'm in tune with what's going on the market for
you mentioned a very important word. You said stress. How do you manage stress trading, bro? Because that's heavy. Because you trade like what, $100,000?
No, so like whenever I'm on the charts, I'm risking on average at minimum $5,000, and then whenever I'm in my zone and like my flow and everything, like my rhythm, like each and every single trade that I take on average could be like up to $10,000 to $20,000 at times, even $60K at times.
So how much money do you have in the market on a regular day for you when you're trading?
So like
total,
all of my average account size is like around like 150.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So like I'm open to risking at times 20K out of that. You know what I'm saying? To actually make up to 40 or 60K, a 1 in 3 type of risk. You know what I'm saying? So like I understand like what I'm open to losing each and every single time that I'm getting in a trade based off of that account size.
So just so the audience understands, you have a trading account which you have about $150,000 in there that you use to trade.
Correct.
And then you're placing trades throughout the day. You're locked in, it seems to me, for about at least 5 to 7 hours.
Yeah, but it's not like placing trades throughout the entire day. Like it's a certain time period that I'm looking for a trade entry based on a setup that I'm looking for that certain point in time.
Gotcha. Yeah. So that might mean...
It could be one position or even two, depending on the risk for that certain trade.
Oh, so you're analyzing the whole time and you make 1 or 2 trades in that period.
Yeah, and then I'm holding at that point. That hold can be a couple hours, a day. If it looks good and I'm pretty early for the entire overall move based on like a higher time frame, I'm probably in that trade for a couple of days. You know what I'm saying? If I could.
Yeah.
But
and you're looking at your phone the whole time that money's out in the market, pretty much.
I try not to, but I definitely sleep good at night also. You know what I'm saying? So like,
most of what trading actually is, though, is you're just waiting a lot of the time.
Yeah,
you're doing your analysis, and then after, like the action of trading itself, when you press that buy or sell button, it's quick. It's seconds.
Yeah,
it's seconds. Waiting. But then a lot of the times, it's after you press that buy or sell button, then it goes back to more waiting.
Yeah. So you could be in consolidation for a trade setup that you're actually anticipating for this certain times, like 3-4 days before it actually plays out. You know, but I think as long as you're pretty much understanding the bias or the overall direction for that certain trade, then, you know, that consolidation means literally nothing. That's like a waiting game at that point. But as long as you're pretty much still within risk and the direction is good, then you're pretty much just, you know, on a waiting game that you have no control over. Like how long it takes a move to actually hit or even push, we have no control over that. So like once we're in, we pretty much understand the risk, we understand the bias.
So when you go in, you're going with at least 5,000, and you might be in on multiple situations. You might have somewhere between $5,000 to $50,000 out in the market that
risking. Open to risking, yeah.
Open to risking,
yeah.
Okay.
What's
with
the
150K account that you have that you use?
Correct. Like, like I love starting like what I do best with. I love starting with like either 100K or 200K on average. Whenever I start up a brand new account, you know what I'm saying? Because there's certain times that like I have like a nice account build, withdraw, start over, risk. You know what I'm saying? Like, restart all over again, because there's certain times that like, you know, like if I have like a good trading flow, like the other day I did 15K to like $550,000. I lost like 150. Damn. After that I was like, I'm done. Close it out. You know what I'm saying? Withdraw. I'm done.
A lot of the times what can happen
start all over again.
A lot of times what can happen is you can go on tilt.
Yeah,
and you
bro,
can
like
lose
it is what it
all
is.
of it, which is why I say even if you're not in a position, that money is still at risk. Which is why it's important to always pay yourself and withdraw.
I have to, because if I don't, like,
it's a mental thing.
I remember like this one time I did I saved up all of my withdrawals and everything. I put 600K inside the market. I built that up to like 1.8 in like about a week and a half, and then I lost 300,000.
Damn.
But I'm still in profit.
You're still up. Ridiculous.
But that's kind of a possibility. So like right after that, I withdrew all that capital. I bought my pista, and after that, I just chilled.
Gotcha.
But so you have to pay yourself in some kind of way. You know what I'm saying? Like you're working so hard, and you're putting yourself under so much stress. Like why not pay yourself?
What's the most you ever lost and most you ever made?
What was it, like 400? No, like 400,000.
I think you posted that one, right?
Like my biggest loss. Like most I ever made it in one trade was 450.
Damn.
Yeah. But that was
Wait, K?
K, bro. K. Yes. K.
That's somebody's salary for a year.
I thought that like we don't really have to say the K anymore. You know what I'm saying? Like you get it.
$450,000.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah, I believe that. Yeah.
But like I was on an anniversary. I was at like a hotel and everything with my girl and everything, and all of a sudden, like, you know, I had 40 lots on 30. Crazy.
That's crazy.
So I understood the risk, but I'm like, but the reward is gonna be crazy, you know. But
you must have celebrated, huh?
Yeah.
You must have celebrated that day, huh?
No, I lost the money. Like I was in a position of
probably felt sick after
40
that.
lots on 30.
Probably felt
I'm on
sick
an
after
anniversary. You know what I'm saying? So
and that's how you lost that 400,000.
I'm not saying it was because of the anniversary, but I'm saying that like I was kind of distracted. You know what I'm saying? So I rolled over, like when I woke up, I looked at the phone. Fuck.
Damn.
Closed out. Put it back. and I went straight back to sleep.
Yeah.
Okay.
I can't do anything, you know what I'm saying? But at the same
Yeah.
time, like that was a part of that account, you know, building everything. So I mean, I like, all right, cool.
Yeah,
I was still in profit, so it's not like I lost.
Yeah, yeah. You were a profit regardless.
I was still in profit, but at the same time, like I just went super fucking hard.
Yeah.
Trying to actually risk a lot, but also like the reward for that one trade was supposed to be like 1.3 or some shit. But
I think it's
it'll work out. It's all good.
important to know that like you can win some and lose some. It's just part of the game.
It's a part of the game, bro.
Yeah.
And people they like try to not think about the losses. Like it's a part of the fucking game. Like
There's no avoiding
how can you be open to trying to make 100,000, but you're not even open to losing 20K?
Yeah.
That's
You know what I'm saying? Like it doesn't make sense.
Yeah, no, for sure.
And then Raul, for you, what's your day like? And then biggest loss, biggest gains.
So my day actually starts the night before. That's when I actually do my pre-market analysis, and I essentially plan what my trading day is going to look like on the next day. So after that's done, that's about like an hour, maybe an hour and a half. It just really depends. I try and give it, you know, because the thing is, if you spend too much time analyzing like just one asset, you're going to start over analyzing, and you're going to get in a situation where you don't know what to do. Right? So realistically, like I'll give myself an hour and also an extra 30 minutes to review my trades of the previous day. But it all starts the night before. So 30 minutes go into analysis, 30 minutes goes into my journaling and reviewing the trades that I did throughout the prior week, throughout the prior days, et cetera, et cetera. Yeah. Then when it comes to my pre-market analysis, this is probably around like 8 o'clock, 8:30 in the morning, an hour before or an hour and a half before the market actually opens. Because I only trade two assets, which is I only trade realistically the NASDAQ or NAS 100 and the S&P 500 or SPX. Right, and then my active trading is from 9:30 to about 12:30. That's my trading window, because then after 12:30 we start getting into a lunchtime. Volume starts to die off, and then it'll pick back up again in the afternoon. But I only trade in the morning because that's when you see most volatility there. Then after my trading day is done, I pretty much go on and do whatever I want for the rest of the day. Then come back to my basically. Then come back to my office. I come back to my office and do the same thing I did the night before. I journal my trades on the day, and I review what could possibly go down, and I plan for the next day.
Yeah, but at least try to actually implement some time on the charts and everything else, so you know that you're given you know, time and effort to your actual craft and everything.
I can see that you guys are very consistent with your rules and your setups, and you make it work.
We try to be. We try to be.
As much as possible.
Like I feel like there's times that like you know that you are going against it, but at the same time, like you know what you have to do to actually stay on track.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Which is cool.
That's
which
fair.
is like a balance of life, which is never a thing. But you're always striving for balance, but in reality, it's never.
But this is also when you're supposed to learn like when to size up, when to size down. Like when I know like I'm not like super locked in, I'm sizing down completely. Versus when I'm locked in and like I'm living and breathing trading, that's when I'm typically sizing up a lot.
Correct.
So, and it also depends on the market conditions too, because if you know and you've seen price action over the last few days and you see the markets are in a nice trending condition, you're going to want to be locked in. You're going to want to size up because these are the times you want to take advantage. Versus when the markets are chopping, consolidating a lot of the time, it's like, okay, you know what, like let's just kind of chill, let's size down a bit. Yeah, the price action just simply isn't the cleanest.
Yeah.
I mean, when it comes to like my biggest loss, I've never lost 450,000 a day. That was crazy.
Definitely did.
I lost about $250,000 in the span of 3 days, and that was because I was just too confident and sizing up too quickly. I did an account build. This is around the time where we figured out that my wife was pregnant. I deposited $100,000 into a trading account, and I turned it into like 1.2, and I was withdrawing along the way. And this is all documented too. It's on my Instagram. You can see all the withdrawals, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah.
Right. But the problem after an account build like that, it's kind of very similar as to when you're in a losing streak. You don't have enough confidence to execute appropriately. But in this type of situation, I was too confident because I'm like, I'm essentially feeling like the king of the world. I just turned almost $150,000 into $1 million plus.
Yeah.
Right. So nobody could tell me shit.
Right.
Right. And then I got humbled really quickly in the span of like 3 days. I lost like $250,000. That's when I was like, nope, I withdrew everything.
Done. Yeah.
That's
withdrew everything right away. And
you're still in a significant profit, but I can
see
how that would piss you off.
But the problem is what can happen in those situations where you size up too quickly, then you take a huge loss. If you don't control it and stop yourself right away, you'll lose even more a lot of the time. So that's something that I learned as a beginner, because my main issue as a beginner was I was over trading and over leveraging too quickly, and I would lose weeks upon weeks of profits in a single day.
Yeah.
And because I've already acknowledged that from my past, in this type of situation, withdrew everything and just took a break.
Yeah, like that's probably like the best fix. Just clear everything off the table and start back.
Start new.
Yeah, and then you got to start small again. You got to start small because it's not easy losing.
But you enjoy the money at the same time. Like the money that you just withdrew, you enjoy that. But also like when you're ready to trade again, you deposit again. All right, cool.
I can only imagine how much mental fortitude that would take and emotion to do that, because obviously it's stressful.
It is.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
It is, and it completely changes your relationship with money too.
Yeah.
Yo,
I think it's because like over time, like we kind of lose like the respect of a dollar eventually. Also, you know what I'm saying? Which is bad.
It's also a bad thing too because like, bro, I'll give you an example. So there was one day in this account build where I had made it was like $180,000. Like, bro, fuck it. I withdrew all of it. And I went and I put a fucking a huge what was it called? A huge down payment on an order. I don't remember if it was my Cullinan. Or it was a different car, but I went and I put a huge deposit on the order of the car. It's like I don't care, I'm gonna make it back regardless. And that's like the problem, you know, that I found myself a lot too. But it's also a blessing too because when it came around to my boy's birthday, right, I had made $100,000 in that day, and I literally did all this for YouTube. You see me literally withdraw from the trading account to my an internal transfer to the broker's wallet, then from leaving the broker's wallet all the way to my crypto wallet, then hitting my bank account, and I sent it right away to Neil, and I bought my boy a watch for his birthday on that same day.
Nice.
So it's kind of like, you know, it's also it's kind of like a blessing and a curse because your relationship with money actually does change significantly.
Yeah.
You know,
I mean, making it that quick,
yeah.
but with the stress as well. I mean, you gotta enjoy it.
Yeah.
Yeah. It comes with it.
What else do we got here? And guys, I don't think we're gonna have an after hours tonight.
Yeah, we won't.
We won't. So because we got bro, I gotta move
the studio.
Yeah, we're actually gonna move all of our stuff tomorrow, guys. So we gotta get this handled.
Brand new setup.
So yeah, whole new setup. What do we got here? What brokers do? No. Buy box goes. What brokers do we recommend as a beginner for futures and forex? What are the best brokers?
I mean,
for futures and forex.
Futures, I'm not too sure
for
about.
futures,
I
mean, Ninja Trader did just buy out Trader Rate because I am looking to actually start trading futures. Probably sometime next year.
What are futures?
Right?
It's becoming a bit more popular, but I don't trade it though.
It's basically the same thing as trading indices. It's just a different platform of execution.
Right?
What are
indices?
Indices
like
is
SPX,
right? It's just the platform execution is different. So I'm gonna open up an account with Ninja Trader, which I mean you can also open an account up with Trader Rate. They're a fully regulated platform. That's probably like the best one for futures. I mean with forex, there's so many different brokerages.
Yeah, there's a ton out there. So
yeah,
depending on like what kind of features that you're looking for that platform, then I mean just either focus on that. Like it could be the leverage, it could be like the deposit and withdrawal methods. Like it depends on what you're really into.
Yeah.
But many brokers have different options. So, I mean, like it depends on like what you're into first.
All right.
Yeah, but it's options, many options.
Damn. All right. Hey guys, do me a favor. We got 2.5K y'all watching on YouTube, and we got another, I think, 5,000 or so watching on Rumble. So guys, go ahead and like the video. Let's get it to 2,000 likes. Get the engagement up, man.
Let's go.
Appreciate that greatly. What do we got here? Mine, I'm 5'10", 242 pounds. What is a safe calorie deficit for me to lose weight? That depends on a bunch of different factors, bro, to include your age and activity level, etc. But go ahead and use a TDE calculator so that you can figure out what your maintenance calories is, and then whatever that number is, you want to be 200 to 300 below that, and that will put you in a calorie deficit, and you'll lose weight nice and slowly and sustainably. Most importantly,
5'10", 242 is crazy.
Yeah, that you fat as hell though. Knowing that the key to proper trading is to limit your losses. What tips do you guys have for proper risk management stop loss? Is a good question.
Well, I say for me at least, precision. Precision is very, very important. Understanding how precise you could actually be in the markets is very, very important.
Yeah.
And understand what's your average drawdown percentage. And pretty much try to actually strive to actually get more precise with drawing your technical analysis, understand your candlestick analysis also, because that would actually lower your risk to reward. Well, like better your reward and lower your risk. I'll have to actually base my risk off of like a lower time frame. It could be like the M5 or the 15, and my reward off of either the H4 or the H1.
Okay.
So if like that alone kind of like changes the game incredibly, because if I'm wrong, then I'm wrong early. Versus
so you can see it.
Exactly. Like
Yeah.
Time frame based.
I mean, for me, like the whole trade has to be planned. So you need to have your area where you're looking to execute the trade, and then you'll have a price action signal that'll tell you this is where, or this is the time to actually execute. And when it comes to your stop loss, I see a lot of people like they just put a random stop loss like in an area where it's like, okay, if price is here, it's right. For me, a stop loss needs to be at an area that invalidates the trade.
Correct.
Meaning that if the trade hits this area, there's a higher probability that you're going to be wrong, and that's when you want to cut your loser as short as possible. After you've determined both of those areas, then you determine what area you're going to look at, where you're going to get out if you're right. Then after that, if you have a positive R multiple on that specific planned trade, is when you can actually formulate the trade setup, say, okay, this is valid, I'm going to be taking this.
Got it.
And just simply have to wait again for the execution.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so like we trade very, very differently, but at the same time, like they work. You know what I'm saying? So at the same time, like people gotta understand, like, we see different perspectives of the market, and with trading is like one thing that every single person has a different perspective in some kind of way.
Yeah, there's no one right way to trade. There's so many different trading styles and
whatever works for you.
Systems out there.
Yeah.
It's whatever works.
But stop loss is important though, because I mean,
Stop loss is very important. But
For
like that's one thing that we did actually agree on. Like the stop loss has to be in an area of non-fluctuation. It has to be in an area that pretty much invalidates the entire trade.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, definitely.
So basically, once it hits the point of no return, you got to cut that thing off.
100%.
Because it's only going to go down from here. Once it hits this point, it's only going down.
Exactly.
Yeah, correct.
Okay, fair enough. So we got here, you guys should analyze GBP USD. Where do you see it going long term versus short term? # real traders know.
I don't really analyze GU too much personally. So I mean, I'm not really in tune with what they have going on that pair currently.
Yeah, and you can't really make like the decision as to long term versus short term too, because you have to look at like the fundamentals and the macroeconomics when it comes down to the Great Britain pound and then the US dollar to really make like a long term decision as to where price could potentially go depending on what type of data actually does come out.
Yeah.
Short term
is
it's
that a
easy.
volatile pair right there? You guys would say?
It gets more volatile with pairs like GJ, which is GBP JPY, Japanese yen. That's when it gets super volatile. With GU, it's not too much. But I feel like it can get a bit more. But it's like one pair that I wouldn't really recommend too much because that pair it's sporadic. Just like how any pair that's Great British pound, it's sporadic as fuck.
Gotcha.
It's just a super volatile currency, honestly.
GBP.
Like, yeah, it's all over the place.
It's
like one pair that pretty much would spike for no reason and then go back to where it just came from. That's just insane.
Yeah. Would it be fair to say that if you're going to trade Forex, it's best to master a few pairs and just stick in that realm?
Well, I'm very, very big on like stick to one and master that one until you get bored of it and then switch.
Okay.
Some people like to actually trade 2 or 3 and that kind of stuff. That's cool. But like when I first started, like I traded AU for an entire year before I actually switched to a different pair, and then I traded UJ for an entire year also, and then I traded this.
What pair with AU, or were you just doing anything with Australian?
No, it was just AU is that asset that I was trading for an entire year. That one trade, like that one.
Oh, you didn't change at all.
I didn't change at all because I wanted to focus on actually getting better at like my technicals and everything. But if you're consistent with one pair, then it will benefit you in the long run because you're gaining a better foundation for.
So it didn't matter what pair it was with. You just focused on trading AU.
AU. I didn't care if this person just made so and so on that other pair. I was focused on what I was focused on. But it's good because like
is
now.
That because AU and I hate to just these clarifying questions. Is that because AU is a stabler currency
at the time? Yeah, and I was still in that learning curve trying to actually just get better at every single thing that I was doing with my consistency and that kind of stuff also. But for the past 3 years, I've only been trading US 30. You know what I'm saying? Because it makes me the kind of money that I want to make, but also I understand it enough, and I'm on it enough to understand what it's going to be doing based off of like how much time I dedicate to it.
But that is not Forex anymore, right?
It's indexes now.
No, that's indexes.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's still on the same markets, but it's just a different asset.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay. Very interesting stuff, man. This is from locals. Any of you familiar with XRP and it eventually getting pegged to a certain amount of gold and being the major component in the coming new financial system around the world? F&F on top. Shout out to you, man. Shout out to locals.
Slugs Banga.
I mean, I don't really go too much in it. I had XRP at one point in time, but I personally don't really fully believe in it unless it's Bitcoin. Like I don't really try to touch other cryptos too much personally. Right? Yeah, because it's not like too stable. It's very
not even Ethereum.
Ethereum's cool too, but XRP, like I'm just not too confident about that.
Oh yeah. They're the ones that went through the lawsuit, if I'm not mistaken.
Right?
Yeah.
They won it, right? I think so.
To be considered as a security or like
yeah, they won it.
Okay.
Yeah.
We got here.
Hunter.
Good evening from Vermont, Myron. I'm working 70 hours a week as a chef, along with 15 to 20 hours on my financial service business. My problem is that my financial services takes 5 to 10 years to build a multiple 6-figure business. I have everything it takes to be successful, but think that I should be putting my time/sweat equity into another business industry that won't take as long. Any tips on if I should take another road or not? Bro, here's the thing. Building a business, most businesses aren't profitable in the first few years, man. Yeah. That's just the unfortunate reality of being an entrepreneur a lot of the times. Especially since you're in a financial services business. Did you guys have anything that you want to add to that?
I was going to say that, given 70 hours a week is kind of crazy. Yeah. Personally, you know what I'm saying? Like
As a chef.
As a chef, that's his
you
main
can do
gig.
a lot more with that 70 hours that could actually benefit you for the long run. Compared to being putting that much time into one thing. Honestly.
For sure. Good point.
Yeah, you might need to start cutting back on those hours as a chef and put it more into your business.
Correct.
100%.
Because 70 hours, remember,
wild.
the whole goal is that you slowly segue from your main job into your business. So you're going to see more returns when you put more time into your side business.
Correct.
Yeah, you don't want to get cooked.
Yeah.
You're funny.
Wow. Wow.
I'm 21 and have the goal to be a millionaire. But no, bro, that's what I would do. You need the whole goal of being an entrepreneur is you take your main job, funnel that money into your entrepreneurship, and then you'll slowly start to weave off on your main job and start putting more and more time into your side business, which is going to make you more money. And then once you start making as much as, if not preferably 1.5 to 2 times as much money from your business as your main job, that's when you can successfully exit that job and move into entrepreneurship full time. Hunter Troynier goes, I'm 21 and have had the goal to be a millionaire by 25, which, yes, is very hard, but I'm maxing out my time and just don't know what else I can do to get my goal, which is why I'm having second thoughts about the industry. I'm in 70 hours on my 9 to 5, 20 hours on my business, 8 hours in the gym. Okay, so same thing. Same guy, same question.
I feel like he kind of messed up by even putting a deadline.
Time limit, right?
Why 25?
You can't put a time limit. Yeah. You don't know.
You don't know.
Like, you can assume. Like,
you know what? No, it's effort based.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't just sit down and be like, you know what? Like, in 5 years, I'm gonna be a millionaire. Okay, how? Like, what's the plan?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, if you have no plan, it means nothing.
Yeah, I see his perspective with having an end date, but yeah, bro, the goal here is because it's the same guy. You need to slowly segue that time that you're putting into being a chef, that 70 hours, you need to slowly start putting it into your business and then you're going to see more returns to get into that 6-figure range.
Yep.
DG Build, job is not finished. WFNF Tate, Tristan, shout out to you. Let's go.
Let's go.
Invesco's traders, in your opinion, do the fundamentals drive the technicals? Do you guys constantly keep up with the BLS reports?
What are you gonna say? Well, for sure, of course. When it comes to down to the fundamentals, the markets don't move just randomly because prices are gonna go up, prices are gonna go down. It's interest rates, inflation, all of these different things, all these different variables and factors, and also order flow as well will determine the direction of the market. So especially if you're a longer term trader, you trade essentially a swing trade, position trade, whatever you're doing that's a longer term, you need to be in tune with the fundamentals and what's going on in the economy and in the world overall to understand better how you can execute on your trading system. But if you're someone who's a little bit more shorter term, then I would probably just be more aware of when this type of data is actually going to come out so you can make the decision like, hey, you know what, the data came out lower than expected, I may be actually looking to buy, or the data came out higher than expected, I may actually be looking to sell, and then use that fundamental bias to then go in alliance with your technical bias.
Yep.
All right. We got Professor Icy, or Professor Icy. Fresh, the type of guy to say that was excellent after busting.
No, he said that's excellent.
What the hell?
Who says that?
Let's see, bot. Anyone else really craving Cinnamon Toast Crunch right now? Okay.
That's random.
That's a random cereal. Is it possible to trade part-time, or do you have to go all in and learning trading full-time?
Nah,
question.
Part-time is where you start. You know what I'm saying? Because I feel like eventually it'll come to a point that you know that it's like if you put a little bit more effort, you can make a lot more money.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But I feel like it's very, very important to actually, put a little bit of time in, just even get a passion for it first, and then eventually start to get a bit more into it. And if you start to make more money when trading part-time, eventually it'll come to a point that you want to dedicate that full-time each and every single day to actually trade.
Because you started... you were doing Target.
I was trading.
While trading.
I was trading while I was at Target. So
there you go.
I was technically part-time and part-time. You know what I'm saying? Eventually, it came to a point that I was like, yo, listen,
it's not worth it.
I'm in between the aisles and everything, on my phone, just checking my charts real quick and that kind of shit. You know what I'm saying? It came to a point that I'm missing positions and losing trades because I'm at work. You know what I'm saying? I'm around the manager and that kind of shit. So it comes to a point that when your business or your passion needs you more than your job, then that's when it's time to leave.
Okay.
Yeah.
Bam. There you go. Let's see here. And this is an excellent side hustle to learn on the side, guys, because it doesn't take that much time if you got a full-time job. You can kind of get in with, dip your feet in, learn.
A credit score. You don't need to have any major, I want to say things.
Listen, I've had students that were pretty much felons and then pretty much all kind of crazy-ass backgrounds, and it doesn't
Can't
matter.
Get a job, yeah.
No, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't check backgrounds and that kind of, you know what I'm saying? All you gotta do is pretty much do is dedicate time to the craft and then, apply it. You don't have to do a background anything. Which is cool because it doesn't discriminate from any single person, which is cool.
Wow.
So it's beneficial for every single person all around the world. Race,
black, white, Asian.
It doesn't matter. Height, it doesn't matter. You know what I'm saying? It's there. It's open.
No systemic racism
at all.
For all you crybabies. You guys day trade, swing trade, or a combination of both? Also, what precautions do you take during big news events like CPI FOMC announcements?
Kind of covered it earlier, but
so like I'm mainly an intraday trader, which means that I'm only in trades for a couple hours at times. On average, swing trades, like I only swing trade if I have the ability to hold a certain trade for a certain amount of time.
Can you tell us the difference between a day trader and a swing trader?
A swing trader hold trades for at times like weeks and that kind of stuff.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying? Like,
okay.
So they're a longer term trader. A day trader, day trader. You know what I'm saying? Like it's within that day.
They're in and out within 24 hours.
Correct. On average.
Majority of the time.
The precautions for like big news events and that kind of stuff, I would normally to scale down my lot size. So like the lot size that I would normally use throughout like my normal days, I would just scale down a little bit. So if I do lose, I'm not losing a ton of money.
Right. So if I go in progression, scalper is minutes, day traders for 20
intraday.
Okay, so it goes scalper minutes.
Yeah.
Intraday is a few hours maybe.
Few hours and that kind of stuff. Yeah.
Then you got the swing
day trader
who's in there for maybe the business day when the market's open. Yeah. And then you got the swing trader in there for could be in there for days or weeks.
Yeah,
days or weeks, and then a position trader, which is probably
even
so
longer
you're doing
term.
basically
6 months the type of shit.
Like shit. Okay.
They don't really care like what happens in between. Like they care about the end goal in like about 5 or 6 months.
It's just a long term investment.
Super long term.
And then after that, your long term traders that are holding for years.
And
gotcha. Buying and that basically you're buying and holding at that point.
Correct,
so those are what 4,
either
5,
stocks,
6 levels.
index funds.
Yeah. It's a bunch of stuff.
To a degree. But I mean, like most day traders could scalp and can also swing trade. It just depends if the opportunity's present or not.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But on average, like our main thing is probably I would say intraday is like our go-to because it's like a nice balance in between everything, you know?
Gotcha.
Because it's pretty cool. You could actually wake up like early, trade, and enjoy your day after.
Yeah.
It seems to me.
The biggest thing is also like a swing trader doesn't really care about the 1 minute chart or the 5 minute chart or the 50 minute chart because it's so minuscule. Compared to a scalper, they're only on like the 1 minute or the 5 minute chart. Like they're on smaller time frames. So I feel like it's more time frame based than anything else, which means that like a position trader is probably on like the weekly or the daily time frame. Like
which one takes the most skill?
Because
I'm assuming if you could scalp, you could probably
intraday takes a lot of. All right, so put it this way: a person that knows only how to swing, they are terrible at entries. A person that only knows how to scalp, they don't know how to hold positions for a long period of time.
Gotcha.
An intraday trader is kind of like a nice balance in between the two. The entries are good, but also they know how to maintain a position for a long period of time. It could be hours, it could be days, but they know how to pretty much hold an order and maintain it for a certain amount of time.
You're able to utilize skill sets from both angles that make you successful.
A nice balance, like a very, very dynamic trade at that point. But if a person actually knows how to maintain a trade even beyond like a couple of days and that kind of stuff, then it turns into a swing trade. So like I feel like the overall goal for me, at least at times, like I enter on like a scalp type of setup. I maintain on an intraday type of setup, and then pretty much if I can maintain that trade for a certain amount of time, it turns into a swing trade at that point.
Damn.
Which can stay for like a week or so, which happens every now and again. But at the same time, like I try to be optimistic with trying to actually hold a trade. But there's certain times that like
what's the longest you've stayed in a trade?
Probably like a week and a half.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's a good breakdown though.
But yeah, but
how you broke it down.
And that was on like probably like UJ like a long time ago actually.
Okay.
Because I'm so satisfied with the money that I'm making now on the asset that I trade now, which is US 30s, that I don't need to hold a trade for a week and a half at times.
You're comfortable in your trades basically.
I'm more than great. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm more than great. It's not like I'm struggling in any kind of way with like my trades that I'm taking.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
I noticed between the two of you, whenever you guys are in a trade, you're aggressively watching the charts, you're on your phone, you're on it, right? Would it be fair to say that you're trying to close that trade as soon as possible so that you can kind of just chill and relax? Is that
it's just certain times that like shit happens, bro. Like
holding it for more than a few days might be too stressful.
The thing is, you want to try and let your winners run as long as possible while also mitigating as much risk as possible. Mm-hmm. Because if you're risking on a position $20,000 and you're up 60, you don't want to break even on that trade.
3-1.
But also, you want to try and let your winner run for as long as possible to potentially make more. So it's literally all about trade management. So when it comes to like the skill and asking, which trader is most skillful, I would say it's not really the type of trader if you're a day trader, swing trader, scalper, but it's how you manage your position in the long run and what your risk management looks like.
Good look, like you always have like your starting, right? You have your risk, but then you have your highest profit, and then you have your settling profit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So like there's times that like let's say if you're up $100,000.
Yeah.
But then you settle at like 60K. That's still cool. But you had your highest point, and then you have the point that like, you know what? All right, this is enough. I'm taking it out. You know what I'm saying? So like it's always like the highest point and like the settle profit also, which is very important.
Gotcha. Because in my head I'm thinking like, all right, you can stay in this trade longer, but is it worth the stress of you're already up,
Correct.
you know, a couple
Correct.
of 10, 20, 30, 40. Is it worth sitting in there and watching the charts like a hawk, not being able to be attentive to other things?
And the best feeling is pressing close and call it a day.
Yeah.
It's the best feeling.
I'm sure you guys have done that plenty of times. It's like,
I mean, it feels so good knowing that, you know what, I could press X and start my day.
Yeah.
I'm stress-free at that point. It feels amazing, honestly.
I mean,
It
imagine
is, it
waking
is.
up making 100K in the morning. You can feel great rest of the day.
Hold on, wait.
Yeah.
Somebody
Go
said
golfing?
trail stops on and have no TP. Personally, I don't like trailing stops because it's premature at times. You know, a trailing stop is pretty much like a stop loss that like tracks as you're going in profit. It tracks behind the order for a certain amount of points. So if the market starts to pull back, the trailing stop stops. But so
And it liquidates
it can
your
stop
position.
you out and then keep on going. Me personally, I'm open to fluctuation, and if I'm actually
So
gonna
your stop
be
loss moves alongside your profits?
that's a trailing stop.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
I mean-
you don't have to. Me personally, like I stopped doing that maybe like about 6 years ago. Like I commit to closing. Like if I'm gonna close my orders, I'm closing everything. After that, like I'm gonna either take like my setup profit or I'm gonna try to hold that shit out a little bit longer. Trailing stops, me personally, like it's a premature stop. Like it doesn't make sense to me.
So when it comes to trading, like there's pros and cons in everything that you do, and you just have to weigh out those pros and those cons when it comes to trading.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. All right. Different world, man. Very
Yo,
different world.
I will say this though.
As a buy and hold real estate guy, this is completely
once
Yeah,
again,
no, it's
territory
very,
for
very
me.
different. It's very just like
foreign.
yeah.
Absolutely. But it's great though. I'm learning.
Yeah.
once again,
It is what it is.
imagine waking up, couple hours, 4 or 5 hours, make 100K. Nigga, I'm gonna be ecstatic.
Hold on. I'm literally
go
writing this
golfing.
down. So you go from scalper, which is
everything.
minutes, to intra.
It's
right?
different though, because I mean, like some days are different. Some
Intra,
days you
and
can
then
make
swing.
100K.
Yeah,
some
some
days you
days
can only
less.
make 10. Some days you
And
may
then you can
lose
say a
money.
position
Some days
trader.
you may break
It's the
even.
longest.
Yeah.
Was that
You know,
position?
but it's all
Position, yeah.
like
And that's for
plan
a
the
few
risk
months, right?
is
Yeah.
what's more important.
And it's all and then right. It's
And then
time
long
frame
term hold
based.
at that point. Buy and hold is after that, which is where I am pretty much.
Yeah, just
and
years
hold.
and that kind of stuff. Like until you retire or some shit. I don't know.
But the times where I'm scaling in pretty heavily and trading heavily are the most stressful ones. Like for
Right.
me, the easy days are when I'm having
One
like an
position.
average risk. Like
Like
I'm risking
10K a
10,000 to
day.
make 20. You know,
Okay.
those to me are like the non-stressful days. You know,
Okay.
versus when I'm like super locked in. You know, I'm risking like 30, 40 to try and make 100, 150, 160. Those are like
More stressful.
Days I'm more locked in.
So this is big. So for the audience, real quick, just to recap. So a scalper, you're in for a few minutes. Entry, in for a few hours. Swing, you're in for a day. Position, you're in for days and/or weeks, and then after that, you got buy and hold.
Correct. Yeah.
So
those, yeah.
that's
super long
different
term.
levels.
So
super long term,
basically, just to have a more realistic approach, 100K days are not that viable. It just depends on the person, and making lure is probably better.
I mean, it depends on, you know, how much capital you have in your trading account. It also depends on how much you're risking as well. Because, like, you can make 100K, and you could do it back to back. I've done it there as well, but, like, my stress levels were a lot higher.
Got it.
Versus, because, again, like, your
money
relationship
line.
with money changes. If you're someone who, you know, $20,000 is maybe not significant to you, it's going to be a lot easier for you to trade. You're not going to really feel bad if you take a $20,000 loss versus you take a $250,000 loss.
Oh yeah,
you
it's
know?
huge.
It's a big difference.
You get used to seeing like that kind of money
Fluctuation.
fluctuate at that point, you know.
Yeah.
So like when you see it over and over and over again, like you're not gonna be too like open
Yeah,
to
but
just
Again, like,
closing out.
there's levels. Like when you first start trading, you see a few $100s in fluctuation in P&L, and then you get stopped out for $500. If that's your normal, then that's your normal.
Yeah.
When you have a stop loss, it's like, okay, you know what? It's part of the job.
Correct.
Versus like when you go from like risking $500 a trade to then doubling or tripling, now you're risking like $2,000 a trade, and that first stop loss gets hit at $2,000. You're gonna be like, damn, bro, that you know kind of hurts.
Gotcha.
Like back in the day, like that kind of like $100 loss was like hurting. Like, god damn, bro, I fucked up, you know.
Yeah.
But I think like over time with experience and like getting capital and everything else, like you just kind of become numb to seeing red at
Yeah.
times, you know. And then it is what it is.
Yeah,
open
you,
to the
you
risk.
normalize it.
Yeah.
And guys, just to recap, there's no after hours today because we're gonna focus on moving the studio. So no girls for today. Money Monday.
Yeah.
Money Monday.
What else we got here? I went full time for 4 months and I realized I jumped in too fast without my business cash flowing enough. Took the risk, it failed, and now I have 15K less than what I
Had 8 months ago, unfortunately.
just feeling shitty at this point. See you at the top, FNF. Shout out to you, bro.
Yeah, we've all had our days, bro, our months.
Yeah, it happens, man.
Yeah.
What else? Derek the Trader, what percentage of your trading capital do you risk per trade, and how do you calculate your percentage stop loss?
So with me, like I don't really go based off percentages. I go based on straight money, which means that like if I start off with $100,000, on average I'm open to risking like 5K or 10K on average, you know, and until I get up to a certain point, like let's say if I now grow the account up to like, let's say like 150, now I'm open to losing like around 30K, 40K at times. But this is me. That's how
Just
I
numbers.
work.
Okay.
And I don't really go based off percentages because I feel like people that actually go just on percentages, like only risking 1% and that kind of stuff, I feel like you're not really in the game to actually make money at that point. Because only risk 1% of everything is, you're not really, yeah, it's kind of like, it's light. You know, it's too light to the point that you can't really expect to make a big gain off of that right there, you know?
So you have to be willing to lose.
Huh?
If you want to win big, you have to be willing to lose big.
Yeah, like
It's
like,
situational to the individual,
Yeah.
you know. But like realistically, you know, you put $25,000 in a trading account, and you're only risking 1%. You shouldn't have the expectations to try and double your trading account within the same few weeks. You know,
but
which is crazy.
You know, which is crazy. But
damn,
yeah,
it's all subjective to the individual.
Correct. But I say definitely be like if you're good at what you do, then why are you only risking 1% of that then?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
That's what it comes down to. Like, if you're so good and you're so confident at what you do, then why are you only risking 1%?
For me, it's different day by day. For me, it's subjective to the type of position that I'm taking. If I have a setup and it's a really high probability setup, then that's a setup I'm going to put way more money behind.
Correct.
I might be risking, you know, 5, 6, 7% at times. But again, I'm okay with taking that risk. I know if my stop loss does get hit for that 7% gain, I know the risks I was involved when taking that position. But at the same time, I'm risking maybe 7% or even 10% at times to try and make 20, 30, 40%. It depends. I don't want to say that's like a day by day thing, but it's subjective to the type of position that I'm taking and the market conditions
all
as well.
those people that I know that actually risk 5 and 10%, they are the ones that made the money.
Right.
You know, because they're open to the risk and they're not scared to lose.
Huh?
Yeah.
All right. We got here. That's J. Rue. What are good ways to avoid bull/bear traps? Also, aside from basic MAs, RSI, MACD, what other indicators are y'all using?
I mean, Raul can definitely agree with me. Price action is king. If you are only depending on all those indicators and oscillators and that kind of stuff, you're pretty much not understanding what actually moves all of those, which is price action. So like, I feel like eventually it'll come to a point that like you want to actually focus on just the candlestick analysis and like the actual raw charts, because that is what actually moves all those things that you just mentioned. Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Carnell Nurse says, I guess I'm going to have to drop some dollars to make these guys aware the channel stealing their content. Posted some info on this Castle Club newsfeed yesterday, FYI. Someone's using our content?
YG Gotti? Yeah, all right, I'll look into it later.
Yeah.
Mindful Ronan goes, shout out to FNF, continue doing God's work. P.S. Don't let Q get away with being too humble. Man's took profit on a trade worth more than the cost of the average single family home in less than 24 hours. God, forever in profit. Shout out to you, bro.
There you go. FIP.
Derek the Trader, do you guys have a daily loss limit and or weekly loss limit where you stop trading to mitigate risk on your trading account?
100%.
Me definitely.
Good questions.
3 losses.
Yeah.
3 losses and I'm done. I'm taking a break.
Yeah.
Okay.
For me, it's less than that on a
Does it like lock your account down and shit?
2 losses. I'm most on a single day. I'm taking 2 losses. That's it. I'm moving on. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, because like if you keep on going, like if you're off rhythm, I feel like you'll stay off rhythm for the rest of the week type shit. So I feel like just even like locking it off, like 3 losses. You know what? Let me chill the fuck out because this is gonna get a lot worse. You know what I'm saying? So
for the mental, just cut it.
And
for
those
the
are
mental
all
to stop
things
it.
you want to include in your trading plan as well.
Yeah.
You know?
Okay.
3 losses. Done.
Again, it comes to rules and discipline.
Correct. And stick with it.
Tall Entrepreneur says, for carry trading, can you explain your approach to selecting currency pairs for carry trades? And how do you manage the interest rate differentials and rollover costs?
I don't know what carry trading is. Never heard of it.
I think you tried saying like currency trading, but I don't even trade currencies anymore.
Oh.
I haven't traded currencies in like 2 years.
Okay. Dash J. Rue says, when it comes to scalping, do y'all scalp after reversals on smaller time frames or only on bigger time frame trends?
So in my personal opinion, like when you're trading with the trend alone, you're already going to have an edge in the market versus somebody who's always trying to call like a top or a bottom. A lot of the times you're just going to be taken out of your position anyway. So if you could trade along with the trend where the order flow is in the markets, you're already going to have an edge in the market.
Easier.
Why not exploit that edge?
Okay.
Yeah, correct. Same.
And then last few here.
Lambo and Q, is there really any point in mastering day trades when there's AI? I think in a couple years AI will fully take over trading. What do you think about that?
I doubt it, but I feel like if a person is pretty much an AI cannot make the kind of money that the human mind can actually make, which means that how precise we are with our entries and that kind of stuff, I feel like it just becomes a bit more like open, because with the AI, like it's programmed to do a certain thing at a certain time at a certain risk. It can't actually, manage the kind of leverage and that kind of stuff like how the human mind can, which means that we have a bit more control with how much money we can make versus an AI, which is just programmed, which eventually fails because not every single AI not every AI actually changes over time. You got to pretty much go back in and change it, and
always change.
And that's the thing. Like the market is always changing each and every single year. From 2015 till now, the market has not been the same. You know what I'm saying? So it's changing each and every single year, and the AI is not going to be adapting to that market condition each and every single year. So like you always got to pretty much change.
A lot of the times, a lot of the AIs is just like a very systematic approach to past market conditions, and it's to try and replicate those market conditions in the future. But the market conditions,
it's not as quick. The human mind is definitely faster than an AI in that sense.
So in this case, the robots, or like I want to say the AI components, aren't going to be beneficial because market changes, so you can't really rely on that.
Yeah, mind you, like you could probably make some passive income, which is cool. But I'm talking about the kind of money that we're making, that kind of stuff, and in a way how we trade with scaling and that kind of thing, and actually like adapting to the markets quickly. The AI cannot really do that. I feel like, and I've seen tons of AIs, tons of EAs, and that kind of stuff, and I've never really been too impressed by one yet. Like they make money for a certain amount of time, which is cool, whatever. But
then they crash. Then you're gonna have to reset it. You're gonna have to fix it, then run it back up again. So I feel like if you could maybe have an AI that sustainable gains,
correct?
Then you're good.
It's a temporary solution to a long-term problem.
Yeah, like it could make like 3%, 2% a month and everything, which is cool, whatever. But the human is gonna make a lot more than that, especially like on our level at least. Like
absolutely,
2% is nothing, 5% is nothing.
Yeah. It looks to me like y'all are making. You guys are doubling your money when you guys are going in.
Yeah, like there's certain times like I'll double like my entire balance in one day type shit. Like it's average.
I mean, for me it's a bit different. I just focus on RR on a day-to-day basis.
Okay.
I don't really focus on just trying to flip my account. For me, it's just if I'm gonna risk 20,000, I'm looking to gain 40,000.
But there's certain times like the risk is so good that it ends up doubling your account. You know what I'm saying? Which is it is what it is. Yeah.
Okay. What else do we got here? I've been trading for 5 years now. I can guarantee you for a fact that these guys made 90% of their money from courses and affiliate with Forex brokers. I'm over here dying. Please be careful, chat.
Well,
y'all show their profits.
It's been I've showed this for like 9 years, bro. It is what it is.
Yeah.
But
Let's go. It's all right.
But for anyone saying that, show your actual receipts, because I see their receipts all the time.
He doesn't have any.
Do you have any?
That's why he's saying he doesn't have any.
I got pages and pages and pages and pages of broker withdrawals, so it's cool.
Yeah, me too.
Cam, the heart guy, goes, Q, Raul, what do you recommend for traders to build capital fast enough if they don't want to take the prop firm route, especially after what happened with MFF? Skill.
It's not the capital that's the problem. It's a skill. I feel like an account can always grow. Keep that in mind. You know what I'm saying? You can start with $1,000 and then build that shit up. Just lose as little as possible. You know what I'm saying? Have a good R&R and that kind of stuff, and then build an account. You don't need much to make a lot of money. You need a lot of skill to make a lot of money. So I feel like people tend to like overthink the fact that just because they don't have capital, they have a couple $100. Like you could build that shit. $500 can easily turn into $1,000. $1,000 can easily turn into $2,000. Like it grows, as your skill is growing. But
especially if you like also deposit in your account as well as you're trading the account, it'll only grow faster too. Correct, you're treating it like an active investment.
Yeah, but
that's smart.
It's a skill. Like trading is a skill-based thing that you could actually build capital on. Like you don't have to have capital to trade. Like you have to have a skill to build the capital.
So learn the skill, the money will come.
Correct.
Right. And then Osaka says, I'm gonna hit you with rapid fire. How do you feel about AI indicators? Where can I find a mentor? What task manager do you use for MetaTrader 5? And can I get $250K funded account for the low? How do you feel about AI indicators?
Like buy sell indicators,
they're same shit. Like I feel like they're just
all
not.
Indicators are laggy.
Yeah.
If you can focus on the key principles of price action, you'll be a lot better off. Because then again, like if you become really good at focusing on price action, that's a skill that you could build over time. And then as you become more in sync with reading price action, you'll only get better without having to rely.
And that's the foundation. The foundation is here, and then whatever is on top of it, indicators, oscillators, and that kind of stuff. AIs is all on top of price action, which is the foundation. You know what I'm saying? So like people try to actually go to the second thing when they could easily learn the first thing.
The foundation.
And then they'll see that like, the indicators that's on their charts, then it's not as powerful as they think it is. Like when I first started trading, like I had a ton of indicators and moving averages and all kind of shit. But eventually it became less and less and less and less. And then to the point that I need nothing on my chart to even make a decent amount of money.
Yeah.
Damn.
For all price action eventually.
Yeah, you want to just mainly focus on price action. I went through the same thing. I had a bunch of indicators, and as the months and years passed, started removing every single one.
Yeah, subconsciously, like you get better. You know what I'm saying? Like you need less to actually analyze. Which
learn price. You said What's
sorry?
called?
Oh, price action.
Price action.
Understanding and reading price action is king.
Yeah.
Over indicators.
Yeah, 100%. Where do you find a mentor?
No, the next one. Okay.
Can you
Top
honestly
only.
say that you give out the full sauce in your courses? Honestly, I think most mentors give just enough in their courses and let you struggle, except their favorite students, of course.
So people are dumb with these kind of things, honestly. So the thing is this: a person can never ever give everything. You know why? Because we're still learning ourselves. You know what I'm saying? I'm adapting. I'm learning. I'm getting better each and every single year. It's kind of hard to like put everything out, but. Like Raul would also agree that like we put enough information out there within our courses to make people money, but also that they know how to pretty much grow from that certain point. So like we're giving them a foundation plus more.
And setting you up for adaptation in the future.
Yeah, you
as
have
well.
to adapt.
But even then, like there's no such thing as like the sauce.
Correct.
You know what I mean? But like if you want to consider like, bro, everything I go over in my course is A through Z on the foundation, making a trading plan, journaling, et cetera, et cetera. But even on my free content, I go over a lot of the core principles that my course does. Like you don't have to buy my course to learn from me. It's all on my free Telegram community and my YouTube channel as well. Like you even literally see me trade live on my YouTube channel. Like my latest YouTube channel video is literally me executing a position, explaining why my stop loss is here, explaining my risk behind the position, me closing out the positions and then reviewing the trades and then showing a withdrawal at the end. Like there's so much free content. Everywhere.
My thing is like, I'll watch the free content first, gain the knowledge or understanding, and then when I can't go any further, then I'll buy the course.
Of course, that's what.
But
That's
remember,
where
so like you would, you would easily go to a club and spend $1,000. You know what I'm saying? So
True.
So why is it so hard for a person you think to actually spend money towards this way versus
because they don't see the value in it and they think it's a scam. Off right. That's why.
Yeah.
And a lot of times they don't want to do the work because
It's true.
getting
I mean,
a course in
90%
itself
of the time.
means you have to
to work.
actually
You
do
have
the
to
work.
commit.
You can't just like get the course and you actually have to
Also
go
make
through
money.
it, study it, watch it back multiple times, take notes, actually apply it, learn it, and you got to watch it multiple times. And people don't want to do that work a lot of
Correct.
times.
And our
100%.
courses are long as shit.
Yeah.
Like they're hours upon hours. And you have mine. They're
Yeah.
hours upon hours upon hours. And some people just don't want to put in the work. But I mean, regardless, nowadays and age, online and social media, even if you're not in the trading industry, whatever industry you're in, the minute you have a course, you're labeled as a scam.
Yeah. No,
It is.
no matter what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is what it is.
Shit, we got a course too.
Yeah. How are you guys
Hey.
backtesting your strategies and how do you avoid curve fitting?
curve fitting? What is
I've never heard of that term. Curve fitting. I've never heard of that terminology before.
But overall, I feel like backtesting is definitely a part of trading overall. Like you got to pretty much go back in the past to see like what you could have done to actually get into a certain trade or win a certain trade or like get out earlier or that kind of
Journaling
thing.
as
So I
well.
feel like backtesting is literally just just going over what could have been or what you could have done to actually do better on that certain trade and that kind of thing. So like if I do actually win a trade or even lose a trade, I got to backtest to see like what I could have done better. In some kind of way,
Yeah, and for me
Very, very
personally, like,
important.
when it comes to backtesting, like, there's so many softwares available nowadays that will literally, you can go back at any point in time and you can do simulation trading. And essentially the way I would backtest would be the same exact way my trading plan is formulated. I would just simply apply it to previous price action data.
Correct.
And then after seeing that the results have a positive expectancy,
compare.
move it over to the future.
Correct.
And
Yeah.
actually forward test, live test. Live
because
trade.
the biggest thing is kind of like programming your mind to actually think faster. So like when that opportunity does come up in the market again, you're
You
pretty
don't
much already
hesitate.
like you understand what to do and how to do it, and then to make it eventually play out if it all goes well.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's
makes
something
sense.
where trading experience
Correct,
comes
yeah.
in.
How
Yeah.
important is experience in trading, you think?
it's the most
It's
important
Everything,
thing.
right?
biggest thing, bro.
That's one thing that we can't teach.
Yeah.
Is experience.
You
We
have to
can
actually
teach
go through it yourself.
we can teach you
Yeah.
everything else.
Except for
But
the
experience is the one thing that you have to pretty much get on your own. You got to put in that chart time all by yourself and that kind of stuff. That's all on you, honestly. So
Gotta
yeah.
do the homework.
Yep.
Okay. And then what's the next one?
Let's see here.
We did that one already.
We read. Okay. Mad respect to you guys, and guys, we got to close this thing out. So we'll answer these that came in.
Yeah.
Mad respect to you guys for getting some traders on after I asked 2 weeks ago. Question: what brokers would you guys recommend, and what are some tools you recommend to help with forex trading? Thank you, FNF. So I guess for forex trading, he's asking for the brokers.
I mean, if you follow us, then I'm pretty sure like we'll mention the brokers that we use. I just don't want to put it all out there, but at the same time, like if you follow us on IG and on YouTube and that kind of stuff, we'll mention it. But it's also based on like the kind of features that you're looking at for a broker itself. Like it could be leverage, it could be like the deposit methods, it could be all kind of different things. What software they actually offer. So it's all on you. But we definitely use brokers that are pretty much beneficial to how we trade, and that's it.
Can you give one?
Most forex brokers, I mean,
I don't want to, put it out there.
It depends. I mean, you have MetaTrader, you have
There's so
CTrader.
much,
It depends.
Yeah, you have TradeLocker now, which is like my trading platform that pretty much it's like a new modern trading platform. You have MT4 and MT5, but then TradeLocker is now a part of that conversation now.
I think I have MT5. Currently.
Yeah.
Cool.
And
TradeLocker. Yep.
Guys, we got 1.3K likes, man. Do me a favor, get us to 2,000 at least. We got over 2,000 y'all watching on YouTube, and I think another 5 or 6 over on Rumble. Luca, Raul, how can we join your mentorship program? Appreciate what you guys do.
So, I mean, me personally, I don't always have it open. I don't always have it available. And then when I actually do open it up, I'll only accept 100 people to come in. And I do that because I only want people who are actually going to take it serious. Like, I'm not putting hours upon hours upon hours into my mentorship program for people just to not take advantage of it, because at the end of the day, I want hardworking individuals that I'm going to help transform.
And then they're going to blame you when they're not successful. Yeah, they don't
exactly.
That's the worst.
You know what I'm saying? And again, it's like the quality of individual and the entry level as well. You know, someone who pays X amount of dollars versus $50 is going to be a lot more invested into the program than But I mean, right now, I just currently have a wait list. Then after the wait list, we're going to send everyone in the wait list applications. You then have to apply. And then after you apply, you'll get an acceptance or down email. But realistically, like, we accept probably like 80% of people that actually do apply. Then you just have to be one of the lucky 100 that actually joined.
Is yours closed all the time, or is it open?
It's open actually, because it's a platform that's like self-sustaining. So it's there. It's 130 hours worth of content on there. So it's like a 4 or 5 month commitment overall to actually complete the course.
Well, again, once you learn the skill, you can get your own fish.
Yeah, exactly. So like and I'm still active within my platform itself, but at the same time, people, they take their time and they study at their own rate and that kind of thing within my course. Yeah.
And then last few here. Masculinity Archive says, thoughts on Snapchat stock viability? Having a tough time understanding tech stocks should be avoided and pursued during this market correction. Snapchat stock viability.
I mean, for me personally, if you're having a tough time understanding these tech stocks, why trade tech stocks then? If you don't understand what you're actually trading.
That's
good. Very complex, I feel like,
It doesn't make any sense.
All right, so understand it before you trade it. 7Yuli7 says, what's your take on the MFF situation and how it pertains to how traders should approach prop firms? Yeah, same one, right?
Yeah, we
talked about that, my man. He probably asked it before.
Yeah.
And the last one here, Kaioshin24, 5, hey guys, what's good? I've been studying Forex trading for about 6 months. I think I'm ready to start trading. Should I start now or wait a little bit, then start? Thank you guys. Much love. No homo.
If you never start, at some point, you're never going to gain the experience, because experience is literally every single thing in trading, and it's all about trial and error, in my opinion. So you have to just get started.
Do what they said, man. Trade a less volatile pair. What was it? USD?
AUD USD, yeah.
And you can also enter like the most minimum position size, and you're risking like $1 a pip. Not even $1 a pip. You're risking like a cent a pip to mitigate your risk, but it's just about the action of actually trading.
All right.
At that point, it's practice.
You get some confidence. Some small wins will lead to more confidence, which will let you risk more. Get some big wins that will give you more confidence.
Correct.
Yeah.
All right. Cool. And then last thing for me here, how has trading changed your life, family-wise, investment-wise, lifestyle-wise?
I think it's just it kind of just put things in perspective of like, anything is possible that you put your mind to and your effort to. But also like trading gave me the ability to actually have my time freedom, have my financial freedom, but also being able to actually put people on to actually do the same thing as well. You know what I'm saying? Family-wise, like my family is good. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm like one person that could actually change that dynamic of like how my family sees finances and like online money and that kind of thing also, which is pretty cool. So I think it'll change it drastically. Like it was a complete 360 overall compared to like how it was, before I started. Yeah.
All right. Raul?
What was the question?
How has trading changed your life, family-wise, lifestyle-wise?
I mean, me personally, like I'm the only person that's ever traded in my family, so it's a very different route. They wanted me to kind of go like the college route, get an education, and then, do the whole regular thing. I don't want to say 9 to 5, but
so you're like the black sheep, Spanish sheep.
Yeah, in my family, I mean, in my family, everyone went to school, everyone went to college, everybody got a job. The only people that actually were entrepreneurs in the space was my dad and my grandpa, right? But they all went to school and they did their whole thing. So me personally, like when I was going to college studying business administration, I was also trading around the same time. It's like I completely dropped that because I asked my business teacher if he's ever owned a business, and he said no. Right? So I was like, bro, if you've never even owned a business, you have no skin in the game. I'm not going to listen to you. So that's when I went full time into trading, and they were like a bit worried at first, you know, because it was just new to them.
New thing,
yeah.
Right? But after I started to be able to sustain my own, and that's when they went full in for me. So, I mean, personally, how it's affected me in my life, it's affected my life for the better, and it's allowed me different opportunities to actually make enough income to be able to invest in either a different business or to be able to go out, purchase whatever I want, or to be able to just make any type of investment that I want to in general. And it's also, over the years, shifted my complete mindset about what finances actually are as well.
Right. It's powerful. And guys, last thing for me as well, and then where they can find you. What do you invest in now other than trading? What are your other investments?
So over the last like 2 years, I've just recently been starting to get into like more property. So my first like kind of like big breakthrough with property essentially is when I first bought a house. This was around COVID time. I bought a house for $830, put some money into it, and I sold it for $1 million. And that's when I realized like the power behind real estate and investing in property. Then I 1031 exchanged it, moved it over into another house where I bought that house for 1.4. I dumped a little bit of money into it and I sold it for $2 million, 1.4 to $2 million. And that completely
keep snowballing it.
Yeah, and that completely blew my mind. So nowadays I really want to just start investing a ton of money into real estate and really building as much passive income as possible, because that's income that people that's not going to disappear, because people are always going to need a place to live. I don't think I want to get into commercial, but definitely want to get into residential, you know, especially like pre-construction, where we go in, we buy a building, or we essentially buy a plot of land, put a building.
You're going to go the whole full rehab and the building shit. Okay. You got like contractors ready?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
100%.
Then you're good.
Right. A lot of work.
Yeah.
100%. That's where a lot of my trading income is going to be put towards nowadays. And that's like the freedom.
Smart.
That's the freedom behind it.
Raul. And then Q, you made a whole complex yourself. You built
a whole compound. Yeah, man. Like that's like my first big real estate investment that I actually did. That's probably now worth like 3 times the amount of money that I actually paid for it, which is crazy. So I mean, like ever since then, I've always been kind of sketchy on the sketch side about the real estate stuff, because it's so slow. But at the same time, it's like a guarantee type of thing, I feel like, you know what I'm saying? Because remember, like we trade, so like we see like the gains and everything very, very quickly.
Yeah.
So when it comes to real estate,
slow,
I was like,
it's like slow.
But I actually enjoy it though.
Yeah.
So I have a couple properties and that kind of stuff. The compound was like my first big property that I actually purchased. I have a couple condos and that kind of thing also. We're actually we're trying to buy like an apartment complex like right now too, like me and my partners. But like I'm just starting to get comfortable with real estate, honestly, because it's so different. But I think it's one thing that is never gonna fail. You know what I'm saying? So like you know, I think you're fortunate because I know that you're very big into like, you know, the properties and that
residential
kind of
real estate. I think it's the best asset class from a tax perspective, etc.
Yeah.
But
especially,
you know, you're not going to make money as quickly as like you guys are doing. You know, like you're gonna that 100K will probably take you a year to appreciate in a really good market on a good year.
Yeah, but like nowadays, I feel like it's very important to actually get into like those big properties now, because like I mean taxes, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So we have to make sure
your
that's
tax
actually taken care of.
Considerably
That's
low.
the biggest reason. To be honest with y'all, it's really the tax savings why real estate is so good.
Yeah.
It's not even the earnings like that. It's because you have to buy so much property to get that really good passive income. It's the tax mitigation that saves you.
Yeah, man. And like I said, like me and my partners and everything, we're trying to actually buy some property in the Wynwood area also, and that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So I mean,
that's going to be expensive.
That alone is going to be big, very expensive, but at the same time, like long term, it could be worth like probably even like double.
They're selling lots for millions right now over there in Wynwood, because they know that whole area is about to be gentrified.
Empty lots, right?
Yeah, empty lots.
That's crazy.
Yeah, bro.
We're trying to buy like an old building and that kind of stuff actually for like.
They're trying to turn Wynwood into like the new like trendsetter hipster.
No,
Brickell.
It's on the way.
Yeah,
it's on the way. So
it's
not like it's nowhere close. It's definitely on the way. Honestly, I love that area. So yeah.
Next 5 to 10 years, it's absolutely going to be the new, like, you know, Brooklyn of Miami. But yeah, guys, Fresh, you had anything else?
That's it for me. And I just got to say this, man. Thank you for coming, guys, because I know you guys have busy schedules, playing golf,
Thanks for coming.
and you know, traveling the world. But
I gave a lot of sauce on this.
Kind of.
A lot of gems. Where can I find you guys for mentorship and other stuff?
my main thing is on Instagram at Cuebanks. Pretty much in my bio, I pretty much have all the things that I'm linked to. It could be like my educational platforms, things that like my YouTube channel and that kind of stuff. Is all going to be on my Instagram profile. Cuebanks, Cuebanks.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, for me, it's Instagram and YouTube. Instagram just Lambo Raul. YouTube is at real Lambo Raul. And again, like you can find a free ton of free educational content on trading just on my YouTube channel alone. And my YouTube channel will also redirect you to my free Telegram room where I post weekly
a lot of shit.
free educational content as well. All free.
You know how we mentioned the free stuff first, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, because listen, like we give out a lot of value. But obviously we have our courses and that kind of stuff also. But at the same time, like we also make sure that people that don't want to invest in.
Y'all didn't even pitch your courses for all the haters that are saying like they're gonna pitch their course now. Like
I never.
I haven't pitched my course in months. You know what I'm saying? But people still enroll every day, but at the same time, like that's because people see the value. But people be people.
For all the haters, like didn't even mention their course one time. Y'all mentioned it more than they did, bro. What the fuck, man?
Oh man.
I don't even have mine available to always purchase. Either.
So. It is what it is, man. Hey, go check them out, guys. Some of the best in the game. We'll catch you guys on the next episode. I think next time you guys see us, we'll probably be in the new studio.
Yes.
Love you guys. Peace.
Got you. Peace out.